Welcome. I'm Hayden Houshorn here with my Brandon Shade, and we are live from Memorial State, where the 4-2 Vikings will take visiting for Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. And Brandon, Cardinals suffered last week up in Ohio, going up to Heidelberg. Teams came into that game, won, and were dead even endings. And Otterbein suffered a tough over us. But here, another game under the lights. This time we're in Westerville, the friendly conference Memorial Stadium. Otterbein again face an opponent where they share a record with and position. Otterbein tonight, Brandon.
Yes, I would agree with that. Otterbein, despite week, they've won 7 last night games, so it should be a good against Baldwin.
Yeah, talking about streak, Baldwin Wallace has won 3 games in a row here in 2017. Starting 1-2, new head coach in his first, Jim Hilvert, has brought them back on the upside. Coach Jim Hilvert, out of his Thomas More, where he coached college between 2007 and 2015, with the 67 and 90 record. He had a lot of high school level and coached at where he won 2 state championships in a row down there. Back coaching college football up there in Cleveland for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, and he had sworn to this trip here, head coach of Baldwin Wallace, to take on the Cardinals. And of course, y'all remember that last least you and I, Otterbein trailed 23-10 last year against Baldwin Wallace. Mark comeback to win 33-30. Logan 229 yards and for another 117, and he's had here. He's into the court Dubs want him to be.
I agree, and also is Isaiah now with seconds left, so it's down to the wire. And interesting game tonight, as you know, up there averaging 39 points a game, but so is Baldwin Wallace at 30.5. So it'll shoot. That's gonna game.
Yeah, Baldwin Wallace is, as you just mentioned, there is they are up there as one of the best defenses in the conference, only giving up 4 per game. They're right up, and that is also kind of skewed because like Mount Union already on their schedule.
Yes, they did. So they haven't let anyone else that's played them past 24 points. So it's going to be a really game. It's going to be high scoring with powered offense of Otterbein and Baldwin.
Absolutely, and we had the Otterbein kind of been dinged up over the last. Lean Lowe, who suffered body injuries, has been played in every single last week. In the second half was against Heidelberg's tough double team, and receptions down the stretch opened up a lot of room for slot and Vanderkooi getting a touch as well.
I agree. Peyton Vanderkooi win at wide receiver. Hunter Joseph sustained in the first half of that Heidelberg game last week. So, as you said, wide receiver banged up, step up. So, it'll be interesting to see how all those guys do tonight.
And down in the south end zone, get to run out onto the. We are under the lights at Stadium. Their second home game here. They played 4. They will only play 4 home games here in 17, and they played 2. They're defeated so far. It stays. And Baldwin Wallace is up the north, behind the north, waiting for field for now. They start to do the coin toss. Since Steve Julian Lowe, Kyle Blues, and Logan Stepp. Jason Jones, the linebacker, is the captain of Jake Harper, but it is a full night to college football, and amongst OAC conference, I know we're biased in this, but Memorial State does provide one of the better. We usually get good crowds on hand. Tonight is no exception. Otterbein is 4-2. Coach Tim Dow has kind of been teetering right there on the 7-5, 4-6 record his 2 seasons. Really get this Otterbein team 500 hump, and they got a winnable last few games. And I think Otterbein to get over that 5-5 match last year with a win tonight against Baldwin Wallace. Baldwin Wallace, of course, has 4 games in 2018. They had a disappointing year last year. You just mentioned 3-6, which is not Baldwin Wallace football.
It is not. They really took some losses, really close losses too. A lot of losses were under 10 teams in the conference. So had a rough year last year. New coach this year. He's really turned the program around. Already 4-2. Already a amount of wins last year. So that's what he's doing. He's delivering this year.
If you're tuning into this, you're in 97 WOB Westerville or on TNC, watching our live stream again. I'm also in here with first-time partner and former wide receiver here, Otterbein and Shade, and going to be both these teams to get a win. Both know it will be a game that will go full. Yes. Here from the Cardinals now, and getting applause from them. They are looking to defend.
Yes, they are. They look excited. Lots of there. We'll see if provide for the home fans.
It is a night tonight. Halftime, we'll be inducting 6 former athletes to the Hall of Fame. So at the end of the stay on, give you the walkthrough of that. But
it looks like Otterbein is going to be kicking off.
Coin toss into second half. And I think one of the keys for Otterbein tonight is to get the first Baldwin Wallace on this off and then get it on the possession. Because Otterbein 4-0 when getting a touchdown.
And right now they got freshman kicker out there, David Holt, who, as everyone at Otterbein, that huge field goal going into overtime.
39-yard goal with less than to put that game into overtime. And he's a freshman out of Hilliard. Only 1 year in high school, and that was his senior season. And he played on a stellar high school soccer team. Here he is with the ball set at the 35-yard line on the right hash mark. Line is moving right to left, and here is the kickoff from Hoyle. Kick is sent deep, and to be returned by Jordan Leverett, the junior, who's
he's a track runner.
Brings him down. Tackle at the 49-yard line, a touchdown saving tackle. And Jordan Leverett already, he's a track star.
He is a national star and all in the 200-meter track. Interesting. He is a wide receiver for them and a kick returner. And as a guy just like that, we have he's also a
Now here, Baldwin will take over. Quarterback Jake Hudson, who is a returning starter here. He's 56, around 6% so far in 2017, averages 200 yards a game. Ball on the left hash mark, 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Austin Smith, the running back, who's motioned out of the backfield, thrown over the top, sent deep. He has a man, and that pass is and down. So already a huge completion there.
That's 2 receivers for Steinwalker. He's got the most runs on the team this year with 19. That'll make it 20.
Left hash mark on the 15-yard line to the left and throws a pass on a bubble route space and moves down to the 5. Greer, the sophomore, on the reception. Now sets up Baldwin down on the 5-yard line, and already out of defense is up into their own territory.
They're going to need a huge defense right here. You know, balls on already with the offensive possession. They're going to need to get one on defense right here.
Ball on the right. 1 receiver split out wide to the left, 2 to the right. The backfield with quarterback Jake Hudson. It's a Smith. Smith notes a keeper and he gets a couple yards down to about the 3-ish yard line. Mark him at the 3. Already putting in that heavy defensive blockage. Andre Douglas and coming in for the Cardinals.
Another player to watch out for Baldwin Wallace is 7. He was all last year for a running back. He has numbers that but I would not be surprised if they right here.
Bunch formation off to the right. 3 Smith in the backfield with handoff to Smith. Smith dances around, has a little bit of space. Brought down junior linebacker Harper, who makes a huge play. Harper turning Letterman. He a lot of time here as a starter and has made a huge impact for the Cardinals for their 7 this year.
So that was a huge open touchdown saving right there. So
Baldwin Wallace last week in their win against Gingham was just 2 for 11 on. So third down situation, 2 and a chance to go on the left hash mark. Hudson and he gets stood up or await a signal, but it looks like he might have gotten to the goal line. We'll see if he crossed. Nope.
Up right there, they Baldwin Wallace switched formation and went double tight. You kind of knew they were running the ball right behind the tackles and Otterbein's defense.
2 minutes and some change gone by. A 4th down here. Wallace keeps their offense at the field. And some round, a few on their feet here. 4th and goal. Baldwin Wallace looking to score. Hudson yard line. He's got 2 tailbacks in the back. It's going to be a quarterback sneak. He's going to get to the goal line. We'll see if he got open. And it is touchdown. Baldwin Wallace. Hudson, the junior, kept it on a quarterback sneak, got it across, and just like Baldwin Wallace gets the opening score of the game. Not really, probably expect Baldwin Wallace to come out that they got sparked by junior returner Jordan Britt, and he's a speedy guy. He had a nice 49-yard return out the field, but freshman kicker brought him down. Baldwin Wallace goes a few plays on 4th. Well, here's the kick after, and the kick after is up, and it is between the pipe. Just like that, Wallace with an early 7-0 here at Memorial Stadium. Again, thank you so much for 97.5 WN, or if you're watching on the internet, you're watching TNC Media with my partner Brandon Shea. And it is a beautiful night for football. You can enjoy a t-shirt or a hoodie. A lot of folks in our stands are wearing t-shirts. It is
a beautiful night out here.
Pitch perfect night. And the on in this one. 11 minutes, 53 seconds left on the clock. It was a drive. It was a 6-play that went for 50 yards and 3 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. Hudson rushed the ball for 1 yard to get the touchdown, but it was Dion Greer nice completion. Steinwick one for 34 yards, set them up at 9-16, and then they scored. So 7-0 with the lead. Baldwin Wallace kicking off from left to right. Kick is a kind of a squib kick, and it's going to be taken over here. It's Julian Lowe up the hash marks and gets tackled at about the 27-yard line. So Otterbein's offense will come out onto the field.
Interesting tactic by Baldwin Wallace there to squib it. That kind of shows that they don't want to put it in the hands of the returners back there so they can build up speed. They kind of want to keep it on the ground, keep it choppy.
Well, if you remember last week, Julian Lowe had that big kickoff return to the house.
Yes, he did, 95-yarder against Heidelberg.
So clearly Baldwin Wallace has watched their film. Otterbein wearing white hats with red jerseys, red pants, white numbers, and gold trim. Baldwin Wallace wearing yellow hats, white jerseys, white pants with brown and gold trim. And here is Logan Stepp in the backfield with running back Christian Johnson. Ball from their own 28-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Logan Stepp hands it off to Johnson, who's got some room along the left side across the first down marker and the 40-yard line. Nice run there by Christian Johnson.
That's a great run on first down, you know. Hoping to just get half the yardage right there, but he put one foot in the ground and cut upfield. They're already on the line.
And he had a lot of help from left tackle and guard Case Troyer and Winston Spiker. And already here are the Cardinals. Logan Stepp throws a bubble screen out to Christian Johnson, who gets up the hash marks, but looked like he lost a couple on the play.
Yeah, they're trying what Baldwin Wallace did, and they're real up-tempo already and trying to get back on the ball and get set. So both teams, like you said, it might be a shootout tonight. We mentioned that.
2nd and 12, Otterbein on their own 38-yard line. They trail this game 7-0. Already 4 minutes gone here in the opening quarter of play. Both these teams 4-2 and 3-2 in the OAC. Here's Logan Stepp, ball on the right hash mark, 2nd and 12. Stepp snaps. It's a play action, rolls out to his left, decides to keep it himself and is moving along the numbers. He gets to the first down marker and is hit hard out of bounds on the far sideline, but nonetheless, 1st and 10 for Otterbein.
Yeah, that was a great, he went through his reads and, you know, he didn't see what he liked and he just tugged the football and ran upfield, got the first down. That's a good play. Looks like the Cards are out a little bit past midfield.
Ball at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. 3 receivers out to the left. Hunter Joseph, the receiver, all alone to the right. Logan Stepp now motions Josh Pleininger from left to right. Stepp in the backfield with Christian Johnson. Ball from the 49-yard line on Baldwin Wallace's side of the field. Here's a hand up to Johnson, who tries to evade the tackler and gets nothing on the play. It was a nice tackle there by Andrew Schultz, the senior defensive end. 6 foot 225, brought down Christian Johnson, so another 2nd and 12. Otterbein on their own 49-yard line.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised here if Logan Stepp looked at Julian Lowe right here. 2nd and 12, 2nd and 11, and you're going to want to get the ball in one of your playmakers' hands.
Ball on the right hash mark, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield with Logan Stepp. 2 high safeties for Baldwin Wallace. Baldwin Wallace showing blitz. Logan Stepp snaps the ball, looks quickly to his right, throws a hitch route to Hunter Joseph, who gets around the first tackler, tries to get around a couple more, and is stood up by a bunch of Yellow Jackets. He gets a couple of yards back, so Otterbein already forced with a 3rd and long situation, excuse me. And what are they going to call here?
You know, if I were them, it looks like they're putting in another receiver. That's Clay Ramirez, 81, checking into the game for tight end number 87, Josh Pleininger. And, you know, if I were them, I might look for a seam route. They got 2 high safeties, so we'll see what they call here, but definitely a pass play.
3rd and 8, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. You just mentioned Clay Ramirez came in at receiver. Josh Pleininger, the bigger tight end kind of position, came off the field. So ball on the right hash mark. 4 true receivers out there for the Cardinals. Christian Johnson in the backfield. He's a shifty guy as well. Logan Stepp snaps the ball, drops back, play action, looks over the top, has Julian Lowe with a catch down to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Yes, sir. That's a good play call right there. You know, like I said, 2 high safeties, and you either going to hit the seam route or the post route. And Lowe split 2 safeties and caught a nice catch over the middle for a first down.
Well read there by senior quarterback Logan Stepp. He saw the 2 high safeties and threw it to his leading receiver, Julian Lowe, right up the middle. And now Otterbein has the ball from the 26, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Christian Johnson standing behind Logan Stepp. Stepp, another play action pass. Looks over the middle, throws it over the top. He was looking for Peyton Vanderkoy, but the ball was sent way into the end zone and went incomplete.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a little communication error right there. He threw it way deep, and looks like Peyton kind of cut up the field right in front of the defender instead of behind him. But that's a big shot, you know. You get a nice first down, might as well take a shot to the end zone.
2nd and 10 here for the Cardinals. 8 minutes and 19 seconds. Baldwin Wallace leads this game 7-0 after their opening drive. They got the touchdown. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Julian Lowe now with the jet motion. He has the ball. Moving along the near numbers. Has a little bit of space. And gets close to the first down marker. Looks like he was marked a yard short. 3rd and short upcoming here for the Cardinals.
That's another thing the Cardinal offense likes to do is, you know, get Julian Lowe out in space. Like I said, he is a national qualifying track athlete. He is a fast guy. He puts a foot in the ground and he gets upfield. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did more of that this drive and later in the game.
3rd and 1 Otterbein in the red zone territory on Baldwin Wallace's 17-yard line. They trail 7-0 early on in this one on the left hash mark.
Josh Ploninger is checked back in.
Two receivers to the right. Josh Ploninger, the tight end guy, is standing in the wing position for the Cardinals. Logan Stepp keeps the ball himself, rolls out to his left, throws it over the top. He looked like he was looking for
high.
Hunter Joseph, who was running that comeback route. It looked like he was open, but the ball was sent just high, so Otterbein will send their field goal unit out onto the field.
Yes, sir, and like David Hoyle's coming out as a freshman. Right now it looks like the ball is on the 17-yard line. So
it's a 34-yard field goal attempt on the left hash mark. David Hoyle, who, as you mentioned last week, hit that big 49-yarder, which sent that football game into overtime last week against Heidelberg. He lines up to kick this one. Senior Lucas Ousley holding for him. David Kakuka, the sophomore, is snapping. Snap is down, hold is good, kick is away. Looked like it went right. So Otterbein comes up empty-handed after getting all the way down in the red zone.
You know, surprising call on third and short right there. I figured they might run the ball, keep it with step up the middle, but they go for that comeback, as you said, and, you know, incomplete pass over his head. And the Cardinal defense trots back out there.
So Baldwin Wallace gets their first stop of the day. Otterbein's drive was 9 plays, 55 yards, and ate up around 4 minutes of clock. 7 minutes and 31 seconds. Otterbein trails Baldwin Wallace 7-0 here in the first quarter. And Baldwin Wallace's offense back out on the field after scoring on their opening drive. Ball in the middle of the field, two receivers to the right and one all alone to the left. Hudson in the backfield with Smith. Handoff to Smith. Smith stood up quickly but dances around. Now moves out to the left. Is brought down hard by Stephen Master at the first down marker. So a nice 10-yard run there.
You know, as we were saying earlier, Austin Smith's a very talented running back, and you won't be able to just tackle him up high. You're going to have to wrap up and make sure he actually goes down. And it looks like it is a first down. They marked first down on the play.
So ball on the left hash mark. Nice run there by Austin Smith. 7 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the opening quarter, and Baldwin Wallace trails this one 7-0. Otterbein's defense could use a turnover here and gain some momentum back. Two receivers to the right, lined up pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers out to the left. Jake Hudson, the quarterback, drops back to pass, looks over the middle, now looks to his left, steps up in the pocket and scrambles the ball, gets across the first down marker, around another tackler, and up the far sideline and out of bounds across the 50. So Jake Hudson on the nice 20-yard rush there for Baldwin Wallace and gets him back into Otterbein territory.
Yeah, Jake Hudson is their leading rusher on attempts this year. He has 78 attempts, which is more than their running back, so it looks like he tries to make some plays when he has to.
The 22-yard rush sets Baldwin Wallace with the ball. Jake Hudson pump fakes. It's a quarterback draw. He moves up the formation and is tackled by Austin Jones, but not before he got about a 5-yard gain. So it will be second and about 5. Baldwin Wallace yet again here in Otterbein territory. And as you just mentioned, Jake Hudson, the quarterback for Baldwin Wallace, can do a lot of things for him.
Yes, he can. He's very versatile and mobile as well as passing the ball, like you said earlier in the game. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cardinal defense, stops him and make some game plans here.
Two running backs in the backfield, ball on the left hash mark. Motions one running back out of the backfield, handoff to Smith. No, it's a quarterback keeper by Hudson. Hudson gets stood up near the near the first down marker. He didn't get across it, so it's going to be third and short. Otterbein needs a stop here.
Yes, they do. 3 straight rushes with their quarterback, Hudson. And if I were the defense, they just send some subs in. I would assume rush right here.
Austin Corey, the freshman, just came in as that big defensive lineman. He's a freshman out of Olentangy High School right here in the Central Ohio area.
They just subbed out Hudson as their quarterback and put in number 16.
So a Wildcat formation here on third and short. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield here.
16 is Matt Lowry. He's a junior quarterback. He spins.
He's got some nice moves, and he's moving along the near numbers, but he's way in the backfield. And Otterbein looks like they're going to get a 3 and out.
There is a penalty flag down on the far side, on the near side of the field where the play happened.
So we'll await the call, but if it stands, It's an 8-yard loss there.
You know, very interesting right there. Baldwin Wallace made a sub to their quarterback right after he had 3 straight rushes. Maybe he's a little tired after running that much.
And we'll await the call here, but if it goes against Baldwin Wallace, it
Looks
is.
like holding declined. So Otterbein makes a stand right there. As Hayden said, you know, they needed that stop on 3rd down, and they actually lost yards. So it'll be 4th and 9.
So Baldwin Wallace sending their punt unit out on the field, but on that last play was Matt Lowry, the junior quarterback from Rocky River High School, who was in, and he is kind of a shifty guy, but he just kind of went the wrong direction there for Baldwin Wallace, and they got a penalty, and now they're moved back here. The penalty was declined, but it is 4th and long, so Otterbein will get the ball back. Punting from about midfield, Julian Lowe is back to receive the punt. He's standing at his own 9-yard line. Here's the punt. Punt is away. Julian Lowe shallow catches it and secures it safely at his own 20-yard line. So Otterbein's offense back out on the field after getting nothing the previous drive. And Brandon, what would you like to see out of the Cardinals this time around on offense?
You know, I would like to see same thing. I think the air attack will work well, and definitely just go to some of your playmakers. And when you got to run, you got to run. But I would definitely like to see a touchdown here. You know, I think you need it. Make a big stop on defense. It would give your defense and offense a lot of confidence scoring getting in the end zone right here.
4 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Otterbein trails 7-0 to Baldwin Wallace, but the ball is on the left hash mark in Otterbein possession. Well, from their own 20-yard line, Logan Stepp throws a bubble pass to Christian Johnson, moving along the far numbers, is brought down hard from behind, but gets a nice little play for the court.
Yeah, we saw that the first drive they had, they tried that the first time and got negative yardage. So it's good to see that play to go for some positive yards right there.
And Otterbein, we know they like to go east to west a lot, but they can throw the ball downfield. They got downfield threats in Julian Lowe and Hunter Joseph.
Yes, that's what makes them so versatile and electric is, you know, they can go side to side, like you said, east and west, or they can go north to south with the speed.
Ball on the right hash mark from their own 27. Logan Stepp in the backfield with Christian Johnson. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Play action pass. Looks over the middle and went through the hands of Hunter Joseph. It would have been a completed pass out to the 40-yard line, but Hunter Joseph couldn't reel it in, so it will be 3rd and short for the Cardinals.
Yeah, another thing is you can definitely see that the Cardinal offense is trying to go away from inside the hashes where those 2 stud linebackers are for Baldwin Wallace. You got Sam Groff and Nischwitz, they're 2 leading tacklers on defense, so they're definitely trying to go away from them right here in the early parts of the game.
Sean Nischwitz, a standout student at Baldwin Wallace. He has a 3.35 GPA, which I know you and I can both appreciate as former student athletes is really hard to accomplish.
Yes, it is.
From the right hash mark, Logan Stepp drops back, 3rd and short, throws it quickly to Julian Lowe, who may have heard footsteps. He dropped it. 3 and out will to put their punt team out on the field.
Yes, sir. That's a huge drop for senior receiver Julian Lowe. He had the first, but like you said, heard footsteps from the safety, and he'll just have to reel that in next time as the punt team goes out here.
An uncharacteristic drop from leading receiver for the Cardinals, Julian Lowe. Joseph Sanfilippo out there to boot this ball away. Baldwin Wallace is going to get the ball back. Here's 4th and short, unless Otterbein does something funky in the punt formation.
Junior returner Ty Gallo out there for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets.
Kick is up and away. And to take it, fair caught at his own 33-yard line where Baldwin Wallace will take the field. They lead this game 7-0 over the Cardinals and 3 minutes and 55 seconds. But I'm Hayden Houshorn here with Brandon Shade. You're listening to 97.5 WOBN out of Westerville, Ohio. And if you're not listening, then you're watching TNC Media. And thank you so much for tuning in to both. Otterbein is 4-2 on the season. Baldwin Wallace is also 4-2 and won 3 games. And Otterbein, more than anything, would like to defend home turf tonight and end that win streak.
Yes, they would. They would also like to get a win for 2 years in a row after Baldwin Wallace has beaten them in the past pretty handily.
Ball on the left hash mark from their own 33-yard line. Jake Hudson, the quarterback for Baldwin Wallace, with Austin Smith in the backfield. Handoff there for Smith, who dances around a couple guys and gets brought down. And it's a loss of 1. A nice stop there. Austin Jones, the linebacker, in on the tackle. He read his gap well and filled his hole very quickly and left Baldwin Wallace with no gain. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from their own 33.
And Hayden, that was actually number 49, Kadar Robinson, freshman running back right there. So he's in for the Yellow Jackets still right now on 2nd down.
So 2nd and 10, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, ball in the middle of the field from their own 33-yard line. Here's Hudson. Motions his running back up to the formation and drops back, looks to his left, now looks to his right, throws it over the middle, and it's a nice 5-yard completion. That one is good there to Chad Steinwick, who has that Will Vance, the sophomore receiver on the play, gets a nice 6-yard gain and sets up Baldwin Wallace for a 3rd and 4.
All right, here, look, number 19's coming in on the near side of the field, Jordan Leverett, that speedy guy. He's got a lot of explosiveness. He only has 6 catches on the year, but 3 of them are touchdowns. So if I were them, I'd be looking to go here.
He's lined up with cornerback Brandon Paschal, who is leading the conference in interceptions at 5. He's 4th in the nation. Here we are, 3rd and 4. Ball on the right hash mark. Hudson drops back and looks quickly over to the right. Nothing doing, looks over to the left, steps up in the pocket, has a little bit of space, dances around to Austin Jones and gets tackled past the first down marker. So you mentioned Jordan Leverett, that speedy receiver out in there for Baldwin Wallace, was lined up near the near sideline here. And Jake Hudson, as soon as he snapped it, looked directly that way. But good coverage there by freshman cornerback for the Cardinals, Brandon Paschal.
I agree. And the route he ran was looked like he was going to do a fade, and then he kind of sat it down. We like to call those flying dives, where you have the option to check down into a comeback if you're not going to beat him.
Jordan Leverett in again for Baldwin Wallace on the near sideline. Here we are, 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 44. Dropping back is Hudson. He looks over to the right, then to the left. Throws it quickly over there for Steinwicks, who's got a stiff arm and pushed out of bounds finally by Prince Franklin on the play.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if Hudson goes back to Leverett right there. He was wide open on a post route. He got behind the safety, number 21, Blaine Voorhees. So look for a deep shot here.
So Baldwin Wallace quickly to the line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here's a handoff there. Up the middle and doing for nothing.
That is number 4, Kadar Robinson, again on the hand. Number 7, Austin Smith.
So here we are, 2nd and 9 for Baldwin Wallace. They lead this game 7-0 over the Cardinals. And not a good start here for Otterbein. They're 0 for 2 on their first offensive possessions. And they're trying to get the ball back and prevent Baldwin Wallace from getting another score on the board here early in this one. 1 minute and 20 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Baldwin Wallace leads 7-0. 2nd and 9 on Otterbein's 39-yard line. Here is Baldwin Wallace. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and 1 receiver in motion from right to left. Here's a handoff here. Bounces around out to the left on the other near far sideline. A helmet came off on our side of the field. And that is receiver Will Vance, who will have to come out for a play. His helmet fell off after a little physical pushing and shoving from Prince Franklin. Prince Franklin, the cornerback, a transfer from Ohio Dominican, came in as a wide receiver last year, and then at the end of the year switched over to defensive back where he got a lot of time.
Otterbein made some subs here. Austin Torr, number 95, and Deshaun Jefferson, number 24, coming for the defense. So an extra DB out there.
Final minute of play here in the first quarter. 3rd and 5. Baldwin Wallace on Otterbein's side of the field. Here's a snap. Hudson rolling out to his right. Looks over the top. Throws it quickly for his receiver, and the pass is complete down to the 13-yard line. It's a huge play to Ty Gallo, the junior receiver, who was screaming up the right, but there is a penalty flag on the field. And it looks like this one is coming back, Brandon.
Yeah, it might be a legal formation on Baldwin Wallace right here. I don't think they were lined up legally or correctly right there. They had a little miscommunication there. So, yep, illegal formation called against the offense. So they will back it up 5 yards and make it it's about 3rd and 9 right here. 3rd and 10.
So Otterbein with a nice break there. That pass was complete to Ty Gallo, and it was a really pretty play. Jake Hudson had plenty of protection, rolled out to his right and threw it over the top. It was a textbook boot play there, but it is brought all the way back to the 40-yard line. 3rd and 10 here. 20 seconds left here in the opening quarter with the clock running. Otterbein trying to get off the field. Hudson in the backfield with running back Austin Smith. He drops back, looks over the top, is rushed quickly, rolls out to his left, is chased down and pushed out of bounds there. So
it's another big stop right there for the Cardinal defense on third down.
He's about 4 yards short of the first down marker. 7 left here in the opening quarter. Otterbein trying to get the ball back. It looks like head coach Jim Hilver is going to keep his offense on the field, and they're it's kind of close to punt, but also a little bit too far away to go for that 3-point.
I agree, and he also might just be keeping him out there for the quarter. So as the first quarter just ended, it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Halvert does, whether he wants to punt the ball or keep his offense out there. Like you said, it's 4-down territory, so it'd be huge play right there if they could get the first down, but it'd also be a huge confidence booster for the Cardinal defense if they made a stop.
Already, Baldwin Wallace has 119 yards of total offense, 67 of those yards coming through the air. Jake Hudson, who hasn't thrown an incomplete pass yet, he's 4 for 4 on the night. And their big receiver, Chad Steinwick, who had that nice 34-yard snag, has 2 receptions for 50 yards on the night. Jake Hudson is the leading rusher for Baldwin Wallace. He's ran the ball 7 times for 42 yards and that 1-yard quarterback sneak for the touchdown. And they lead this game. 1 quarter in the books here under the lights at Memorial Stadium, and the Yellow Jackets lead the Cardinals 7-0. But Otterbein with a chance to get the ball back. It's going to be 4th and 6 upcoming here for Baldwin Wallace. They're going to switch sides of the field. But what did you like out of the Cardinals defensively?
Defensively, I liked they made stops when they had to, and they didn't really. They had, the Cardinal defense and offense had no penalties. So, got to keep it clean and win where you can. Defense and special teams is a huge part of the game.
Ball on the left hash mark. Baldwin Wallace now moving right to left. On the 35-yard line, here we are, 4th and 6 for Baldwin Wallace. They're in Otterbein territory. Here's the snap. Hudson dropping back, looks over to the right, throws it. That pass is complete. 1st and 10 for Baldwin Wallace. They convert on 4th down yet again.
That pass was complete to number 84, Rob Wolvington, who is a large receiver out there on the outside on the far side, and he caught that right past the first down marker. Good play for the Yellow Jackets.
Here they are from the 28-yard line. Again, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Handoff there for Smith. Smith dances around a guy. Nope. It was a quarterback keeper and brought down very quickly there by Otterbein. It was Austin Torr in on the tackle for the Cardinals. And it's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Again, we see Jake Hudson running a lot of quarterback option, and he keeps that one there and loses yards.
Yes, he is. That's his 8th rushing attempt this game, and that's a lot more than anyone else next to compared to number 7, Austin Smith, their starting halfback. So they're wanting to get Hudson out there and making some plays on his feet and with his arm.
Ball in the right hash mark, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back in the backfield. And moving in their receiver from right to left is a handoff here. It's Jordan Leverett, who's got that speed on the near numbers and is brought down hard there by Austin Jones, the senior linebacker who prevents the touchdown.
Yeah, Baldwin Wallace right there snuck Leverett in on their far side by their sideline. I didn't even notice he came in. But when you see him in and you see him in motion, you gotta start getting to the outside. He's gonna want to take it out there and get upfield.
So now here's Baldwin Wallace quickly to the formation from their 16-yard line. Here's a handoff to Austin Smith, flag out on the field on the near sideline. And it is going to be a false start. That will back Baldwin Wallace back to the 22-yard line.
Yep, his left side of the line moved before he snapped the ball, and, you can't have that. So maybe a little bit too fast or something there for the Yellow Jackets offense right there, but penalties are going to hurt them.
So from the 22-yard line, Baldwin Wallace in the red zone. They lead this one 7-0. 13 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the opening half.
And now the Yellow Jackets just up for the 1st and 15 rather than they look like they were going to get some positive yards there. So penalties have hurt the Yellow Jackets here in the first half.
From the left hash mark, Hudson drops back. Another whistle here before the ball was snapped. And it's going to be a timeout by Baldwin Wallace. So
that's a good timeout right there for Coach Halvert. He had the play clock running down to 1 second right before he snapped the ball. So they were trying to avoid another penalty. Like I said, the penalties are going to hurt them. Instead of 1st and 20, he called a timeout to make it 1st and 15. Keep it that way.
So Otterbein trying to get off the field again. It's 1st and 15. Baldwin Wallace is set up nicely in the red zone, but again, that false start backed him up 5 yards. So Otterbein, really, we're going to learn a lot about this team tonight, Brandon, and they can't lose 2 games in a row if they want to look back on 2017 and feel accomplished for themselves. And this is a very winnable game here.
I agree. You know, they would like a good win here tonight going into a stout Mount Union team next week. So they still have hard part of the schedule coming up with Mount Union, John Carroll, Marietta. You know, none of those are easy wins. They're going to have to come out and compete. Same with tonight. So
it will be a tough matchup next week up in Alliance. That Mount Union team, as we know, has won 24 of the last 25 OAC championships. So that is quite the juggernaut football team up there in Alliance. But here's Baldwin Wallace. Ball on the left hash mark, out of the timeout. Jordan Leverett motioned across the formation. And Hudson drops back to pass.
On a wheel.
Throws it deep, wide open. Jordan Leverett, who dropped the ball in the end zone.
Man, you know, like I said, when they stick 19 out there, he's either going to get the ball and get out into space, or he's going to run straight down the field, try to just beat everyone deep. And he ran that wheel route. He was wide open. Little miscommunication on the defensive part right there.
As a former receiver, Brandon, what is going through your head when you know you are wide open in the end zone, and it's just almost too easy to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. You know, you really got to focus on the ball and watch it all the way in. I think that's what happened right there. Is, you know, he didn't watch it till he tucked it. So
Otterbein gets a nice break there from the 22-yard line. 2nd and 15 for Baldwin Wallace. They lead this game 7-0. 13 minutes left. Hudson throws it quickly off to the right. That pass is complete and down to about the 16-yard line. So Baldwin Wallace gets a little bit of yardage back. But, man, they had a wide-open touchdown to Jordan Leverett, who has 3 touchdown passes on the year, 3 touchdown receptions, I should say, and he drops that one. And that is, if Otterbein ends up winning this game and stops Baldwin Wallace here on this drive, we will look back and say, you know, that is a mistake that really will cost them the game.
I agree. That makes Hudson's first incompletion on the game as well.
So from the right hash mark, it's 3rd and 9. Hudson drops back, throws it over the top. He has a man, but well guarded there by freshman cornerback Brandon Paschal of the Cardinals. So Baldwin Wallace putting their field goal unit out on the field.
And I agree. Even if they do get a field goal here, it's still going to be a huge difference between, a 14-point lead and a 10-point lead. So that drop pass by Leverett it might come back to haunt those Yellow Jackets, especially if they miss this field goal.
Brandon Vollmer, the freshman who nailed a game-winning field goal last week against Muskingum.
He is 5 for 5 on the year in field goals.
So it's a 35-yard field goal. It is up, and it is good. So Brandon Vollmer remains perfect on the year for the Yellow Jackets. And Baldwin Wallace now takes a 10-point lead. 10-0 here with 12 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter. Otterbein needs to get a score on this drive.
Yes, absolutely. Whether it's a field goal or if it's a touchdown, they need some kind of points up there on the scoreboard because, as you know, time's creeping towards halftime. You don't want to go down with 0 points going into half.
4 other games taking place in the OAC. Muskingum played Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern just got out of that one 7-6. Heidelberg and Marietta. Marietta won that one 44-21. That's a surprising score. John Carroll beat Capital today 48-21, and Mount Union smoked Wilmington 66-7. Baldwin Wallace leads this one here 10-0. We're still playing football here at Memorial Stadium under the lights. You're listening to 97.5 WOBN out of Westerville, Ohio. And if you're watching our live stream, you're tuning in to TNC Media. I'm Hayden Heilshorn here with my first-time partner, Brandon Shade. And right now, a little bit of nervousness out of the Cardinal faithful. They trail this one early, 10-0.
You got Julian Lowe, and looks like Peyton Vanderkoy's out there instead of Hunter Joseph.
It's a shallow kick. Julian Lowe takes it from his own 12-yard line, moves from right to left. At the 20 is brought down hard. He just gets past the 20-yard line to the 21 where Otterbein will take possession. And what do you do? What's your first call on this drive, Brandon?
My first call is going to be a run play. Definitely just get some positive yardage, hopefully, get the drive going with hopefully chip away for about 5 yards, get halfway there, and once you get that first down, get things rolling. I take a deep shot to one of your playmakers.
Otterbein's thrown the ball 8 times and only ran it 4 times so far in this game. They take over possession, trailing by 10. 12 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the second quarter from their own 21-yard line. Here's Logan Stepp, handoff to Christian Johnson out to the right. He has a little bit of space, dances through a hole, and gets out to about the 27-yard line. So a nice little carry and well called by our offensive coordinator up here in the booth, Brandon Shade.
Yes, sir. Like I said, you want to get positive yards on that first down play, get things rolling for your offense. Down 10-0, you really just want to, get the ball downfield, get a good drive going. It doesn't have to be a deep shot right away.
That last drive by Baldwin Wallace was 14 plays, 51 yards, and ate up 6 minutes and 36 seconds of clock. Otterbein trying to answer back from their own 29-yard line, 2nd and 1. Logan Stepp with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield. It's a quarterback draw. He keeps it himself. Dances through a hole across the first down marker and out to the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10 there for the Cardinals.
Yes, that's a good play call right there. I was expecting a run from Stepp right there, and first drive, and then you want to get your quarterback involved. So instead of passing the ball, keep it on the ground for the first down.
Ball on the right hash mark. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right from their own 35-yard line. Logan Stepp back, snaps, and hands it off to Johnson up the middle, who has stood up very quickly, but he did get 1 yard on the play.
That was a hard hit right there in the hole by number 65, Parker Hoffler, for the Yellow Jackets. But definitely, 2nd and 9 right here. I would expect a little bit of play action maybe. Take a dig or a post over the middle. They still got 2 safeties up there, so look for a playmaker, whether it's one of those 3 receivers, Julian, Hunter, and Peyton.
3 receivers out to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Josh Pleininger now motioned from left to right. He settles as the right wing back in the formation. Logan Stepp with Christian Johnson in the backfield. From their own 36-yard line, 2nd and 9. Stepp snaps, drops back to pass, looks over the top, has Hunter Joseph, and a nice play there by the cornerback. Ty Fields, the junior for Baldwin Wallace, got in there and broke up the pass. So Otterbein is forced with a 3rd and long.
Yes, they are, and they did what I was expecting. They did a little play-action pass and tried to get the ball over the middle to Hunter. So 81 Clarion is back in the game for tight end Josh Pleininger.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield for Logan Stepp on this 3rd and long. The Cardinals trail by 10. 10 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter. The Otterbein offense looks to the sideline, and the coach changes up the play call.
Yeah, right here, Stepp's going through his reads, checking out the defense, and he needs to know what coverage they're in and who's he going to look to.
3 down linemen for Baldwin Wallace. Here's a snap. Stepp drops back, throws it. It's a shallow pass that was deflected there, and it will be 4th down for the Cardinals. Baldwin Wallace's defense is a tough one, and they get another 3 and out there.
Yeah, so like you said earlier in the game, 2nd in the conference, the points allowed at 23.9. So they are a good defense, and they keep it low scoring. And if they can hold the Cardinals to a low amount of points, I think they'll be good for this game. But Otterbein's offense right there started off hot, just couldn't get things going on 3rd and 4th down right there.
10 minutes and 16 seconds left in the second quarter. Otterbein trails 10-0. Here's Sanfilippo's punt from the Cardinals. This one is sent deep and taken from his own 28 and brought down very quickly there.
That's a good tackle by number 15, Fred Hargrove, and he's a really good playmaker for the Cardinals this year. He's made a lot of plays in clutch moments.
Ty Gallo was the returner on the play, got nothing. As you mentioned, Fred Hargrove made the tackle there, and he is having a really good year for the Cardinals. You're absolutely right on that one, Brandon. And here comes Baldwin Wallace's back out on the field. They've scored 10 unanswered points here to start this game. 10 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the opening half. They take possession from their own 29-yard line. They lead this game 10-0. Hudson with 2 running backs right behind him. Motions 1 out of the backfield. Hudson drops back, looks to his right, throws it over the top. It's a long ball and over the head there of Chad Steinweck. So that one goes incomplete.
They had another guy right wide open right there on the play. This Otterbein defense is going to have to start communicating a lot better and finding out where guys need to be. It looks like Prince Fielder carried one of their receivers to the middle of the field, and that left like you said, Steinwach's wide open on the sideline on a corner route.
From their own 29-yard line, 2nd and 10, Baldwin Wallace leads this game 10-0 here at Memorial Stadium under the lights. 3 receivers bunched to the left and 1 running back in the backfield. Hudson hands it off to Austin Smith, who dances through a couple of guys and is brought down hard from a low hit out to the 35-yard line. He's going to be 4 yards short of the first down. So it will be 3rd down and 4 to go for Baldwin Wallace. They're trying to move the chains and keep this drive alive. They lead 10-0.
For Baldwin Wallace here, I would expect a quick pass or maybe even a quarterback draw with Hudson like they've been doing the rest of the whole game. So expect something short and quick here, and hopefully the Cardinal defense can make a stop.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. 1 running back in the backfield with Hudson. Hudson rolls out to his right, looks over the top, throws it quickly. That pass is complete to Rob Wolfington, the junior. He's 6'2", 180. He's kind of a tall target out there on the field, and Hudson hit him perfectly, and they move the chains out to the 44-yard line. Baldwin Wallace quickly to the formation. And a timeout coming here from the Otterbein sideline. Tim Doubt burns another one.
Yep, no, that's not a bad timeout right there. So, you know, Baldwin Wallace is driving, and they just got a first down. You're going to want to stop all their momentum and keep them short, you know. You don't want to get them on too much of a roll because you need another stop here on defense. You know, not getting that score on offense last possession. You know, you're going to need a stop right here.
At halftime of last year's game, Otterbein trailed 23-10 to Baldwin Wallace up there in Berea, Ohio, and then they ended up coming back and won the game 33-30. And it was a fun comeback to be a part of. I will not lie to you on that one, folks. But so far, these Otterbein faithful fans here don't really want to see these Cardinals down early.
No, they do not. You know, they're gonna want to hope that Otterbein's offense can pick it up and finally find a number on the scoreboard.
9 minutes and 16 seconds left to play here in the first half. Otterbein trails 10-0. Baldwin Wallace got the opening touchdown on their first drive. It was a 1-yard quarterback sneak by quarterback Jake Hudson.
Yeah, no. One thing that's going to be really interesting is this past week they moved former running back who scored the game winner last year. Isaiah Richmond's now in at linebacker, number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does this week.
Hudson pump fakes, now looks over the top, throws it quickly. He has a man, but he overthrew him. Yep, and that was wide receiver John Kromelik, the senior, who actually is listed as a backup quarterback, unless I have his number wrong there. We don't have the fancy monitors up here in the press box.
Yeah, they did a little post wheel action right there. Tried to separate the safeties, get one over the middle, and get one on the outside. And it seemed to work. He had him open, just overthrew him a little bit.
So from the right hash mark, 2nd down and 10. From their own 44-yard line, Baldwin Wallace trying to get another score on the board. A handoff there for running back Austin Smith, who dances nicely around a tackler, but Fred Hargrove hit him low and brought him down. So it will be 3rd down from about the 50-yard line.
It's really surprising, the Yellow Jacket offense, their coaches aren't trying to get Austin Smith the ball more. It seems like every time he touches the ball, he gets 5 to 6 yards.
He was 2nd team All-OAC last year as a junior. And this year hasn't had the best of years, honestly, after what he did last year for Baldwin Wallace. He's rushed for under 300 yards already through 6 games. Here we are, 3rd and 4. Otterbein's defense trying to get off the field. Hudson pump fakes out to his right. It's a screen play, but he's brought down quickly. He tried to get rid of it. And Otterbein wants a flag for intentional grounding, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it.
That was a great play by Otterbein defensive lineman Andre Douglas. They noticed it was a screen, and he actually dropped back in coverage. So what Hudson wanted to do there is he did a little quick pump fake to the left to the running back who he sent out in motion. Then he tried to go back and throw it, but Douglas was right there. And if he would have thrown that, it would have been picked off.
The intended target was Rob Wolfington, the receiver who lined up along the right. It was a screen play that usually does some damage and is a smart call, honestly, as an offensive coordinator. But Otterbein played it very well, as you just mentioned, Andre Douglas, who is a 3rd-time starter here at Otterbein in just his junior season. Here's the punt. It is sent deep. Julian Lowe will take it from – nope, he's going to let it bounce. And it's going to take a Baldwin Wallace bounce out to the 5-yard line where the Cardinals will take over possession and try to put a score on the board. They trail 10-0 here with 8 minutes and 18 seconds left. And, Brandon, how do you analyze this game so far? What does Otterbein's offense need to do? It looks like they're not really getting the big plays that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I'd say for them this drive, they're going to still want to get the ball on the ground a little bit, maybe some running with Stepp or Christian Johnson, and then you got to take a deep shot on the outside. We've had a lot over the middle. You hit Julian over the middle early in the game. You tried Hunter Joseph twice, but it looks like they're bracketing them, so that means they got a corner and a safety on them. So they've been shadowing them all across the field. And, maybe a big play to Peyton Vanderkoy this drive. Sleeper out there at the Z position on the top side of the field.
From their own 6-yard line, Otterbein with the ball, 2 receivers to the left, and a whistle coming from the near sideline. It's going to be a timeout taken by Otterbein. So Otterbein burns their second timeout, excuse me.
Yes, sir, and that's with 8:18 left. Still a lot of time before halftime. Interesting call. Coach Tim Doubt must have not liked what he saw out there for his offensive play set.
That last drive by Baldwin Wallace was 6 plays, 21 yards, ate up 1 minute and 52 seconds worth of clock. And they ended up punting the ball away. Otterbein takes possession from their own 6-yard line. And Jake Hudson is leading the way both through the air and on the ground for Baldwin Wallace. He has thrown for 90 yards. 7 for 12, and he's ran the ball for 40 yards and had the quarterback sneak for the touchdown. Logan Stepp is just 4 for 10 through the air for 41 yards, and he is also the Cardinals' leading rusher with 19 yards.
Yeah, right here, interesting formation. They got Hunter Joseph lined out wide.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Logan Stepp hands it off to Christian Johnson, who has a lot of space up the hash marks across the first down marker to the 20-yard line. And it's a nice 14-yard rush there by junior running back out of Big Walnut High School. Christian Johnson moves the chains for Otterbein. Otterbein quickly to the formation. Ball on the right hash mark from their own 20. 3 receivers to the left. Hunter Joseph, the lone receiver, to the right. Handoff again to Johnson. Johnson with some space along the near numbers. Has a nice block ahead of him. Steps inbounds again and gets to the 50-yard line. Nice run there by Christian Johnson.
I agree, and looks like that timeout paid dividends right there. Coach Tim Doubt called that timeout, and he probably gave him 2 or 3 plays in a row to run, and it looks like it worked. Ball's out to midfield right now, so if they keep this drive moving and get a score, that's going to be huge for the morale.
So ball from midfield, Otterbein on their own 49. They trail 10-0 with 7.5 minutes left in this one. 1 receiver to the right, 3 to the left. Hunter Joseph, who was the intended target, dropped the ball on the turf, so it will be 2nd and 10. Logan Stepp throws yet another incompletion here.
Yep, tough drop right there for Hunter Joseph. And, once you get first down, you want to get your receivers a little bit involved after 2 big runs. You don't want them to get cold feet out there on the field. And you want to keep their hands involved and their hands active. And right there is just a tough drop. You could have got 3 or 4 positive yards.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Logan Stepp in the backfield with Christian Johnson. Logan Stepp, a quarterback keeper, is brought down quickly. He stayed up and dove for a few extra yards.
That's a great way to fight for extra yards. He was going to be brought down in the backfield by number 31, Soku Imani. So it's a great way to fight for a little bit more extra yards.
3rd down and 7. Otterbein trails this game 10-0 to a 4-2 Baldwin Wallace. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the second quarter. Logan Stepp with 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Christian Johnson flanked to the right.
Look to see if they give Julian Lowe the ball here.
Stepp keeps the ball himself, tries to dance around into the second level, gets to the first down marker, and it will depend on the spot, but it looks like he got right to the first down. I don't think it's enough to move the chains. It looks like it will be 4th and inches upcoming here for the Cardinals, so a decision to make for head coach.
Yep. It's like you said earlier in the game, Baldwin Wallace had this position earlier, 4-down territory. What do you got to do? And I think if you're the Cardinal offense, you got to go for it. You're down 10-0. There is 6:38 left on the clock. Looks like they're bringing the chains out for measurement, but I'd say go for it. You got nothing to lose, and if you get it, score a touchdown, it's going to be huge.
And I'm with you there. I think Otterbein's offensive line, we know that this Baldwin Wallace defense is good, but I really have a lot of faith in Otterbein's offensive line here. And I would like to see him run the ball. You need to run the ball if you're going to do things in the OAC. It looks like they are going to mark him short after the measurement.
Yep, looks like it's going to be 6 inches short here.
Otterbein trails 10-0 here.
Offense stays out on the field, like we said. So going to be a need-to play right here. You know, go-to play here, I would say, like you said, either running the ball. You got to run the ball successfully in the OAC, or a quick pass, or QB draw maybe to Logan Stepp.
4th and inches. Otterbein on Baldwin Wallace's side of the field from the 42-yard line. They need to get to the 41 for the first down.
In this formation, they're probably going to send Julian Lowe in a little bit of motion right here and send Stepp right up the middle.
Logan Stepp keeps it himself. Exactly what you called, with some room
going
along the hash marks. He's all alone. Touchdown, Otterbein. Logan Stepp, the quarterback. Perfectly called by our color analyst up here, Brandon Shade.
Yes, sir. That is one of their go-to goal line plays, so I figured they'd go back to it on 4th and inches right there. So they like to put playmaker in motion and see if it draws any defenders, and you know, luckily it did, and Stepp bounced off the line and went outside and right up the hash mark for a touchdown. That's a great play.
And that is the momentum that you dream of from their quarterback, Logan Stepp, and he put 6 points up on the board. Point after on the way here from David Hoyle. Otterbein trails 10-6. Here's the extra point. Kick is up, and this one is good. So Otterbein gets a little bit of momentum back. They still trail 10-7. But Logan Stepp with the huge 42-yard touchdown rush. And it seems like every week he has one of those.
Yes, it does. They like to involve him, and they, like I said, they really like running that play on the goal line. So that formation, they can do a lot out of that. They can either they did it earlier in the game. They can do a little like a pitch pass. So it's not technically, it does not count as a rush, but it's a pass to Julian Lowe. So they'd like to get him outside, or they like to send him in motion, draw some defenders out of the box, and lead Stepp up with Christian Johnson, which is what they just scored on. Or what I haven't seen this year, which is really surprising, is send Julian in motion and then do a rollout towards that motion and run a little bounce play. And that's like a 5-yard little pass route that they like to run in the end zone. They ran that a lot last year, which accounted for a good amount of Julian Lowe's touchdown catches.
Logan Stepp ran for 117 yards in last year's matchup against Baldwin Wallace. He's already ran for 70 yards here in the first half. Still 6 minutes left in the second quarter. And here's the kickoff.
That's San Filippo out there for the kick now instead of freshman David Hoyle.
Trip Washington, the returner for Baldwin Wallace, gets tackled along the near sideline at the 24-yard line, where Baldwin Wallace will try to respond. They still lead this one 10-7.
That's a lot better coverage for the kickoff team right there. You know, they force him to the outside, and one of the things as being on kickoff when I played last year is, you know, the sideline is your friend. It's another defender. So the more you can force them there, the better you are, instead of in the middle of the field where they have a lot of room to run.
So from their own 23-yard line, Jake Hudson with 2 running backs behind him, 2 receivers out to the right, 1 receiver all alone to the left. 6 minutes and 13 seconds left. Here's a snap from Hudson. It's a handoff there. Nope, it's a play-action pass. And Blaine Voorhees, the junior, came down hard and hit his target. But it was a completed pass to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's a little RPO, as Otterbein would like to call it, a little run-pass option. So you can either run the ball, which is little play action right there, or you can pass it to the bubble screen that they ran, or a quick little hitch route, which is what they completed.
So 2nd and 3 here from the 30-yard line. Baldwin Wallace trying to convert on 3rd down yet again.
Looks like they went right back to the same play.
And he gets tackled. He's going to be, looks like he's going to be short. So it will be 3rd and inches. And as you mentioned, back-to-back plays, same formation, same motion.
And that was they're utilizing freshman Kadar Robinson a lot, which is really surprising considering they still have Smith on their team, but he was not in. They had number 16 in there.
Makes you wonder what kind of situation is with Austin Smith, or maybe they like what Kadar Robinson has done for them so far. Here we are, 3rd and inches for Baldwin Wallace. Jake Hudson rolls out to his right. Throws a pass. That one is completed, but quickly brought down, and due to forward progress, got the first down.
That was a Lucky that pass wasn't high because Melvin Medina had a jump on that ball. You know, if that ball's any higher, I think Melvin's picking that.
Dion Greer was the intended target. He completed the pass and moves the chains here for Baldwin Wallace. So Otterbein yet again trying to get a 3 and out. They fail there. Steven Masters and Austin Corey coming into the game. Rick Herbst and Austin Torr checking out for the Cardinals. So here we are, 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line is Baldwin Wallace. Ball on the right hash mark.
You know, Baldwin Wallace keeps motioning that number 16 in. It's their backup
Thrown over the
quarterback.
top. Picked off there by Fred Hargrove.
Like we said earlier, Fred Hargrove is an athletic DB who has made big-time plays and big-time moments. He was the one that sealed the game winner at Capitol 2 weeks ago, and he had that electric 60-yard interception returning. He has another one right there, right over the middle. You know, they tried to throw a jump ball, and, you know, Fred, as a former basketball player at Columbus State, is going to win that battle 9 times out of 10 right there, Hayden.
Fred Hargrove gets the interception. It was a deep pass, and it looked like it was intended for Will Vance, who was screaming up the hash marks, but Fred Hargrove played that ball textbook, the way you teach him, and he jumped up and snagged that one. Otterbein with possession from their own 32. They trail 10-7 with 4 minutes left in this one. Logan Stepp pitches it out to Christian Johnson, who tries to find some space. Hard hit there and drugged down out of bounds on the near sideline at the 33-yard line.
Yep, and it looks like number 20, Howard Dover's helmet came off. So like you said, he'll have to sub out for a play. And he is one of their corners. So looks like 95 for Baldwin Wallace is also subbing out. So they're going to have 2 guys come on real quick.
2nd and 8 after the 2-yard run by Christian Johnson. Ball on the right hash mark. Otterbein with the ball after the Fred Hargrove interception.
Yeah, one thing that you might look for here is a deep shot. After a turnover, go deep.
3 receivers to the left. And it's a bubble pass out to Julian Lowe, who finds a little bit of room along the numbers on the far side of the field and gets tackled just short of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and short here for the Cardinals, but a very manageable down and distance for Otterbein.
Yeah, so that's a good play call right there. I like that play call, you know, get Julian Lowe out in the middle of the field and, you know, in open field with the ball. He can make things happen. Leading receiver for the Cardinals this year.
3rd and short. It seems like we've had a lot of these.
Yes, we have, and they'll probably go back right down to their bread and butter. So either Christian Johnson or Logan Stepp running the ball right up the gut.
Stepp, ball on the left hash mark, snaps, hands off to Johnson. Johnson, who's get across the first down marker, across the 50 and some space. Moving up the hash mark and is tackled on Baldwin Wallace's 30-yard line. Huge run there by Christian Johnson, and that is their bread and butter. And we mentioned it's almost like we said, Otterbein's got to stick to the ground a little bit more, establish that run game, and they've done so ever since.
Yes,
Otterbein now set up on Baldwin Wallace's side of the field from the 32-yard line. They trail this one 10-7 here with 3 minutes left in the first half. Logan Stepp. Hands off to Johnson. Johnson up the sideline here. Gets out to about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you know what? It might be holding coming back for number 64, Peter LaChapelle. They might get him for holding. It was one of the hard calls right there. You know, Christian, you know, Peter had him sealed off, and Christian made a cut to the right, and the defenseman tried to go, and Peter was right there. You know, had a hold of him. So I'd get a pass play going, and then go right back to the run. Baldwin Wallace does not look like they can stop it right now. So keep the ball on the ground.
So that 10-yard penalty by Peter LaChapelle sets Otterbein back a little bit and kind of, more importantly, impedes on a little bit of momentum that Otterbein had rolling for them. So here they are from the 42-yard line on Baldwin Wallace's side of the field. It'll be 2nd and 20. Otterbein needs to get to the 22 for the first down. 1 receiver to the right, 3 to the left. Logan Stepp in the backfield.
Yeah, expect like a 10-yard pass right here, trying to get the yardage back.
Stepp with the quarterback keeper, has some space. Up the seam and rolling out to the far numbers, to the 15-yard line, 10, and down at the 9-yard line. Logan Stepp with a huge rush there.
It is amazing what Logan Stepp can do on the ground. You know, he turned something into nothing. That was looked like that was a design QB draw again right there, and that's a very nice play call, and Stepp's been making people miss all night. He did it again right there.
The 31-yard keep by Logan Stepp sets them out to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal here for the Cardinals. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. New face in at running back for Otterbein. Here's a snap. Logan Stepp throws it over the top for Hunter Joseph. He was being held on a lot.
Yep, there's a flag. That's definitely pass interference on the defense in the end zone, which should put the ball on the 3-yard line. So you can't hold. You can't, especially can't hold on the goal line. They'll get you for that every time. You know, Hunter Joseph was trying to come back and make a play, and he was being held by that would be
Ty Fields.
Yep,
the junior defensive back who gets booked up there for pass interference.
And that's huge. You know, you just went from the 9-yard line to like the 3-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cardinals run here. I would go back to that stack formation and maybe run that bounce play I was talking about. Get Julian in motion. It looks like they are.
Dakota Smith in at running back. 2 receivers stacked to the left. Otterbein from the 2-yard line. Peyton Vanderkoy all on to the right. Here's the jet motion. And it's a handoff to Dakota Smith, who walks it into the end zone. Touchdown, Otterbein. And just like that, the Cardinals regain the lead here at home.
Yeah, that's a good play call. You know, like I said, I knew they were going to go back to that formation and go to that jet motion. And you really got 4 options from there. You can either, pitch it to Julian. You can keep it like Stepp did for that long touchdown. You can hand it off to Dakota Smith right at the gut, and that seemed to work right there. And don't be surprised later in the game if they do a rollout pass to the field and get a little pass going off of that. So that's a lot of options right there.
Otterbein with touchdowns on back-to-back possessions. The extra point is up, and it is good. So 14-10. 1 minute and 52 seconds left here, and Otterbein has their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, that's a huge drive right there. You know, huge stop, huge drive, and you definitely want some kind of points up there, whether you're gonna tie the game up or take the lead. And the Cardinals took the lead, so gonna need if they can get another stop right here before halftime, go in with the lead. That would be huge for the momentum and confidence of the Otterbein Cardinals.
It's a 5-play, 68-yard drive by the Cardinals, and more importantly, it gives Otterbein the lead here, 14-10, and a little bit more relaxed atmosphere here at Memorial Stadium. The fans can breathe a little bit. They like to see the Cardinals move the ball and get in the end zone. And now the Cardinals with the lead.
Yeah, and that drive was really set off by Christian Johnson in the beginning with that 27-yard rush. And then Logan Stepp ignited it again with a 33-yard rush, got him down close. So, a penalty looked like it was their first penalty of the game, looked like it was going to hurt them. But Cardinals broke through that and got a good play.
Here's the kickoff. Back deep to receive is Tripp Washington, who takes it from his own 10, has a little bit of space up the seam. And he's keep moving. Again. And down the sideline, out across Otterbein, and down into Otterbein territory at the 44-yard line. Excuse me, that was Jordan Leverett who took the ball back for Baldwin Wallace, and what a return.
Yeah, he's their explosive guy. You definitely, when you're a kicker, you do not want to kick towards him. You want to kick away from him. That's his second big return of the day on his second return, so he's 2 for 2. So definitely you got to watch out for him. And it looks like they had the chance to tackle him around the 35, 40-yard line, and he spun away from that, so you got to wrap him up.
I wouldn't be surprised if Otterbein started to kick the ball a little more squib action and try to not kick it to Jordan Leverett. So here is Baldwin Wallace on the 44-yard line trying to answer back. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. Austin Smith in the backfield with Jake Hudson. Hudson drops back, looks over the top, throws it out to the sideline. That pass is complete. Good for Chad Steinwex, who has the big reception there and moves the chains for Baldwin Wallace.
Out of bounds by
Brandon Paschal, the freshman cornerback who pushed him out of bounds. He has 5 receptions on the year for the Cardinals. That leads the OAC and is 4th in the nation for cornerback. So he is really molded and really grown already a lot as a freshman, and they're going to be excited to have him back.
He's a good player, and he was out there as a freshman. I was kind of surprised, but he has made a lot of good plays and good situations.
Here's the handoff with some space. Austin Smith gets across the 30-yard line and is tackled at the 29. So Baldwin Wallace, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Still plenty of time for them to score, and they're down and getting close to the red zone here. Here we are. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hudson drops back, throws it over the top. He has a man beat and in the end zone and dropped again. That pass went incomplete. It was intended for Dion Greer, the sophomore. He was wide open, screaming up the seam.
Another drop pass in the end zone for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, and I bet their offensive coordinator and coach are not happy about that. They got two open guys, and that one might have been a little far. He jumped forward. It looks like he's injured on the landing over there. He's down on this far sideline.
And that was after that drop pass. That's virtually 11 points not on the board for Baldwin Wallace because we had to settle for a field goal early on when Jordan Leverett dropped that wide open touchdown look in the end zone off the wheel route. And then right there, Deion Greer has that one as he was screaming up the seam. He had his man beat and had the ball in the breadbasket, and then he let it hit the turf. So just like that, Otterbein gets another lucky break, and they maintain a 14-10 lead. 1 minute and 17 seconds left.
Yeah. My guess is, as like you said, as a receiver, when you're out there and that ball, it's not perfectly on stride. It's a little bit far. You're thinking to yourself, do you want to dive for it and jump for it, or do you want to just see if you can make the play? And it looks like he dove and might have got the wind knocked out of him there and landed on the ball a little wrong because it did pop out. But, another lucky break for the Otterbein Cardinal defense as they drop another open pass. So it's going to be a huge 3rd and 5 here.
Baldwin Wallace still with 2 timeouts left. 1 minute and 17 seconds left here in the first half, second quarter of action. Otterbein deferred to the second half, so they'll get the ball to start. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Baldwin Wallace from the 30-yard line. Dropping back is Hudson, who gets around a sack and moves up the sideline. Flag on the field and gets tackled at the 10. And this one looking like it might come back. It looks like that penalty might go against backup left guard DeJuan Bridges, who's a junior, and usually is backing up Patrick Simon, the freshman. So,
yep, and you just called it right correctly. So it's going to be holding on number 55, DeJuan Bridges, who is their backup left guard. So that's a huge mistake for the Yellow Jackets right there as they had the ball down inside the 15-yard line.
Otterbein still leads this ball game, 14-10, 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the first half. Otterbein will get possession coming out and to start the second half, but they're going to need to stop here so that they can go in the locker rooms with the lead.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised if their quarterback went to their leading receiver, Chad Steinwicks, on the near side of the field.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The penalty backs up. Baldwin Wallace to the 39. Dropping back is Jake Hudson. He looks out to his left. Another holding flag is going to come here for Baldwin Wallace.
Yep, and there he was. He threw it right to 17, like I said, Chad Steinwicks. So, you're really kicking yourself if you're the Baldwin Wallace offense, and you're just hurting yourself here, and you're just keep backing yourself up. You might have had a chance for a long field goal, or they had the ball on the 30-yard line, so that would be about a 47-yard field goal, but another holding. So
freshman center Patrick Simon, who is not usually the center, he's usually backing up Ryan Simpson, so he's not the traditional center for Baldwin Wallace, and you can see that they're starting to shuffle some linemen around due to injuries.
Yep, and
so 56 seconds left here in the second quarter. Otterbein leads 14-10. The penalty keeps them at the 39-yard line. It's 4th down here, and they're in the punt formation.
Yeah, that's a smart move by Otterbein to decline that.
So punt is deep for Julian Lowe. He takes it at the 8-yard line where it is fair caught. And Otterbein will take possession, likely to just take a knee with 51 seconds left. Stick around for halftime after this final minute goes by to listen to 6 former Otterbein athletes will be inducted into the Otterbein Hall of Fame. Stick around at halftime as we walk you through those inductees.
Right here for the Otterbein. If I were on offense, if I were the head coach, you got the lead, you're going into the half, you're getting the ball back in the second half. I would just stick to running the ball, You've had a couple big plays in the past 2 drives that have really just – you've bounced it outside and you've made big plays. So they still have 1 timeout. Probably going to run the ball, and if they break one open, don't be surprised to call a timeout and take a shot, especially getting the ball back.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Josh Pottinger motioning from left to right and settles as the left wing back. Handoff there for Christian Johnson, who has a little bit of space into the secondary and gets tackled at the first down marker, just passed it out to the 19-yard line. So a nice 11-yard run there by Johnson.
You know, if I were them, I'd just run the same play again. You know, just keep running the ball. You know, time stops once you get a first down. So they keep running the ball, drive down the field a little bit, maybe get a late field goal. You know, Hoyle's got a leg. He proved that last week.
30 seconds left with the clock ticking. Otterbein still in their 19. It would be quite the effort to get down in the field goal range. Here's a handoff again to Johnson. Johnson gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe 1 yard past it.
Yep, right there. That pretty much seals the deal for going into halftime now.
So final seconds ticking off here in the first half. Both teams starting to make their way towards the locker room. Otterbein leads this ball game 14-10. Logan Stepp through the air was 5 for 12 for 48 yards. Logan Stepp also had 6 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown. Kristen Johnson had 10 carries for 101 yards. Dakota Smith had a carry for a touchdown. Julian Lowe led the way for receptions for the Cardinals. He had 3 receptions for 37 yards. And then on Baldwin Wallace's side, Jake Hudson, the quarterback, had 10 completions off 18 attempts. He threw for 109. Jake Hudson also ran for 40 yards off 8 attempts. Austin Smith had 5 carries for 28 yards. Chad Steinwicks had 4 receptions for 67 yards. Dion Greer had 3 receptions for 22 yards. So going into half, Otterbein leads 14-10. And we are likely to see the Hall of Fame inductees coming out shortly, but it looks like Whitehall High School is having their band come out onto the field.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest takeaways from the first half right there for Baldwin Wallace is you gotta stop committing penalties. They've had a lot of penalties that killed drives and had a lot of those 2 big drop passes in the end zone. Like you said, took away 11 points. And right there would be 21-14. And, you got to catch the ball, and you can't commit penalties on big drives when you have the momentum going your way. So
Whitehall High School, a local high school downtown near Central Columbus, they've been invited to play halftime here under the lights at Memorial Stadium. A beautiful night.
And right here, it looks like we have our Hall of Fame inductees right there on the 50-yard line on the numbers on the near side of the field.
Otterbein is inducting 6 individuals into its athletic Hall of Fame.
7-time conference champion on the track, 3-time all-region performer, and a 2-time All-American. He remains Otterbein's record holder in the 1,500 meters with a time of 3:49.
Mark Burns, the first inductee, was on the track team in 1983.
He still holds the 1,500 record, if I'm correct.
From Pittsfield, Pennsylvania, in the class of 1983, Mark Burns.
Mark Burns. So there you are from 1983. Gets inducted, and that's really nice here. A little ceremony here.
One of the top offensive linemen in school history, Ralph Picklesheimer, was a first-team All-OAC center on the Herald in 1947.
First-team All-OAC center. Ralph Pickleson from the 1950 team is getting inducted. So that's really nice to see here, especially on a night where the Cardinals have the lead 14-10 over Baldwin Wallace. And Brandon, Otterbein's doing a lot of big things out on offensively to end that halftime, and you really like to see that as a Cardinal fan.
You really do. They stuck the ball to the ground, and they ground and pounded all the way down the field. And it's nice to see that after a big wide receiver showing last week and a passing week last week, for them to put the ball on the ground and be successful.
Former point guard Tim Pond is the next inductee in the 1967 class. And here he is being inducted into the Otterbein Cardinals Hall of Fame. That's really exciting for him and his family. The next inductee, Dan Remanowski, on the 2008 baseball team.
It looks like he'll be on the right here. The youngest of the 6 inductees tonight.
And we hope you can hear the PA announcer, 3 straight OAC titles. Part of a really up-and-coming Otterbein baseball program that really has kind of hit their stride there with head coach Brian Powell over there.
I agree.
Cardinal Hall of Fame from the class of 2008, Dan Ranowski.
Right there's Dan Ramnowski, and they said he was only two OAC pitchers have ever won OAC Pitcher of the Year 3 times, and he's one of them. So very good pitcher for the Otterbein baseball team.
Also led efforts to improve support for female athletes. He later started a girls basketball program at Walden Ridge High School.
The next inductee, Carol Smith, who was on the women's basketball team in 1969, coming back here to Memorial Stadium to get officially inducted into the Otterbein Hall of Fame.
Already a member of the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame, she now takes her place among
Member of the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame, as you just heard, announced by our PA announcer here. And that's really nice here. She's standing at the 50-yard line. She gets officially inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Ray Watts graduated in 1980.
Ray Watts is the final inductee tonight.
And some cool facts about Mr. Watts is he was the AD and coach for all sports, going for a remarkable career at Baldwin Wallace. So he is now going to be in the Hall of Fame for both schools, which is pretty cool since they are playing tonight.
Led BW basketball to 246 victories and was ultimately part of its first Hall of Fame class.
Special announcement. Certainly on a night where Otterbein is trying to secure the victory. And as you mentioned, his relationship with both schools, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017
he could not be here tonight. He graduated in 1918, is represented by his son there. So that's really nice. 6 inductees into the Otterbein Hall of Fame to continue to celebrate an excellent tradition of Cardinal sports. And there's a lot going on here, especially that men's soccer team that's gotten off to a stellar season so far with behind fresh head coach Jason Griffiths.
Yes.
But we're here at Memorial Stadium for Otterbein football, and they lead this one 14-10. I'm Hayden Howstorn here with Brandon Shade. We're going to go to a break. Thank you so much for tuning in to WOBN 97.5 out of Westerville and TNC Media. We'll catch you after the break.
Hi, I'm Samer Hammond here, reporting here from Otterbein University and TNC Media about what happened here at the first half. Now the Otterbein Cardinals here have gone off to a slow start, but surely made their way towards the scoreboard now with the ending score of 14-10, the Cardinals leading Baldwin Wallace at the half. Logan Sepp having himself a huge game with a couple great passes and some really good runs, especially that 4th and inches conversion into a touchdown, which got Otterbein its first score of the game. Also, Christian Johnson has been having a really solid game with a couple really nice big runs there as well, setting up the Cardinals for a couple of their touchdown scores this year. As we saw today, the Otterbein defense is playing pretty solid as well, only allowing 10 points so far this half. Now they have been a little bit shaky, allowing a lot of yards of offense per game. But as we can see right now, with only a score of 10 for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, that everything has been going to plan right now for the Otterbein Cardinals. Back to you guys.
My dad wants to know if you know Grant Gosser.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back from Memorial Stadium where Otterbein leads this ball game 14-10 in Brandon after that magnificent performance from high school band. Whitehall High School came out to join the Otterbein Cardinal band, and we are ready for second half action here where the Cardinals were down early in that first half 10-0, and then had a couple of good drives, got down in the goal line and was able to punch it in. And you were happy to see the Cardinals get on the board and start to take the lead in this game. And hopefully in the second half here, maybe Otterbein can start to pull away.
Yeah, I agree. You know, they get the ball, so definitely going to look to score, get back up, get up by 2 scores in the second half here. And looks like Julian Lowe and Peyton Vanderkoor are back to return. So Peyton is new back there for Hunter Joseph, who had a concussion last week but passed his protocol. So, you know, they're probably gonna probably keep the ball on the ground and you know, run the ball with Christian Johnson and Logan Stepp. Keep moving the ball downfield, eat some clock up, stay up on the lead, and see if they can get a touchdown or a field goal, get some points on the board here.
Otterbein deferred after winning the coin toss to start the game, so they'll take the ball here in the second half and a chance to go down and get a 2-possession lead. And again, they got to come back out, hold Baldwin Wallace's offense, and then maybe start to pull away and build a little bit of cushion here on the scoreboard. But I'm never going to count out this Baldwin Wallace team. They've played a lot of close games this year, and they've won 3 in a row. So I'm never going to count this team out, and you never know with OSU football. We've seen some wacky games so far in 2017. There's a squib kick taken by running back Isaiah Richmond from his own 25-yard line and out across the 30 and tackled at the 34.
Yeah, like I said about Isaiah Richmond earlier this year, or earlier this game, this year he switched from running back to linebacker for this game. So, you know, he's a big guy, and him and Christian Johnson were splitting reps, and it looks like they made the right move. You know, Christian's out there. He's making plays, making big runs. So Christian goes back out there with Stepp.
So here we are, Otterbein from their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Logan Stepp in the backfield with Christian Johnson, 3 to the left, 1 receiver alone to the right. Here's Logan Stepp. Play action pass, throws it quickly, a nice pass there to Josh Pleininger across the 45 and tackled at the 48-yard line. Otterbein with an early first down.
Yeah, that's a good play call right there. Quick little pass to the tight end to get the chains moving, get the ball on the field.
Establish a little momentum on this drive is certainly what Otterbein would like to do. They lead this one 14-10, and 20 seconds already gone here in the third quarter. Julian Lowe motion from left to right. He takes the jet motion sweep and trying to get some room along the numbers on the near sideline and finally pushed out of bounds at Baldwin Wallace's 45. So Otterbein moving the ball effectively here on their opening 2 plays here in the second half.
Yeah, they definitely are, and you know, got Julian Lowe the ball again on this drive early, which is good. You know, get his confidence up, get his legs moving right after halftime. See if he can get him in open field again.
14 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Otterbein 2 plays have already moved the ball down to Baldwin Wallace's 46 across the 50. Here we are, 3 receivers to the left, Hunter Joseph alone to the right, Logan Stepp with Christian Johnson in the backfield. It's a quarterback keeper, a lead block by Johnson, could not be held up, and Logan Stepp does not get the first down. It will be 3rd and short here for Otterbein.
Yeah, they kind of did a little QB draw right there, so that was a design play to have Stepp keep the ball and try to have the running back lead up on a block right there, but Baldwin Wallace sniffed it out, and they stopped Stepp, which is one of the first times they stopped him from getting positive yardage tonight. So look for the Cardinals here to do either a little run with Christian Johnson or a quick pass again.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson flanked to the left of Logan Stepp. Stepp snaps the ball. It's a handoff to Johnson. Johnson with a lot of space. Nice block there. And moving along the near numbers and out to the 29-yard line. And a nice lead block there by Jared Conover. He really led the way on that offensive line. He's a junior, and he did a really nice job as the right tackle blew that hole wide open, and Christian Johnson, all he had to do was jog through it, and he gets out to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff again to Johnson. Johnson with another nice block there by Conover. Moves up the numbers, tackled at about the 11-yard line. And it's easy as a fan to sit there and say Christian Johnson's running the ball well, but I got to tell you, Jared Conover, that right tackle, is really opening the way and dominating that front.
Yeah, sadly right now it looks like Conover might be injured on the sideline after another big block. It looks like someone's down, so definitely hoping he's all right. He just had two huge blocks, but yep, definitely looks like he's the one that's hurt, and he's got some knee problems. He's got 2 braces on, so let's hope he's okay.
He's replaced by junior Evan Canale. So here we are, 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Otterbein can get the first down. Ball on the right hash mark. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson flanked to the left. Logan Stepp looks over the top to the right. He had Hunter Joseph. Hunter Joseph reached out with one hand and tried to bring it in Odell Beckham style, but he couldn't haul it in. So it will be 2nd and 10 from the 11.
Yeah, that's one of the go-tos on first down too. Is you get a first down, might as well take a shot to the end zone to one of your huge playmakers in Hunter Joseph. He can rise up over the defender and definitely out-jump him and catch it. So not a bad play call. He might go to him later in the drive.
So here we go, 3rd down, 3rd and 10, or excuse me, 2nd and 10 after the first play. We're from the 11-yard line. 12 minutes and 52 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Logan Stepp looks quickly off the bubble pass to Julian Lowe, who has some space, has a blocker. Touchdown, Julian Lowe.
You know, that's a great job by Logan Stepp to get the ball out, too. They had looks like they had a linebacker blitz off the edge, and that left it 3-on-3 out there. And, you know, as being part of a receiver last year, I know that our offensive coordinator likes our odds when it's man versus man out there. And you can see that Julian Lowe made 2 guys miss and got in the end zone for a touchdown.
Peyton Vanderkoy was lined up as the split receiver on the far side. He had a nice lead block there on the Baldwin Wallace cornerback, Corey Sparrow, and all Julian Lowe had to do was catch the bubble pass and jog into the end zone. So some nice lead blocking here from the Cardinals to set up their teammates with a touchdown. There's a high snap there on the point after. Chased down there by Hoyle. Hoyle falls on it. And Otterbein doesn't get the extra point, but they will lead 20-10. So just like that, it's still a 10-point ball game rather than an 11-point. We'll see if that becomes a factor down the stretch.
Yeah, it looked like that was just a high snap, like you just said, by Dave Kukuka. But a good way to run it down by Hoyle. You know, you definitely, if Baldwin Wallace's defense picks that up and runs it in, that's 2 points for them. And that would have made it a 1-possession game. But luckily, Otterbein Cardinals fell on it, and it's still a 2-possession game here, up by 10, 20-10, with 12:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
That 7-play drive for 66 yards ate up 2 minutes here in the 2nd half. Early on in the 3rd quarter, Otterbein gets and extends their lead, 20-10 here. After the nice touchdown reception, the 11-yard touchdown reception from Julian Lowe. That's his 5th reception of the day for 56 yards. Here's the kickoff from Joseph Sanfilippo out of Delaware Hayes High School on the northern side of Columbus. That kick is a squib kick, and just as we expected, but taken nonetheless.
There's Leverett again.
Jordan Leverett with some space gets brought down hard.
Nice
right
tackle.
On the OAC logo.
Nice tackle by number 21, Blaine Voorhees, right there. You know, definitely got to get the explosive guy down quick and fast so we can't get out in open field.
Otterbein brought in Chris Bivens, the transfer from South Florida, at that safety position, but he's kind of been struggling with a lower body injury, and we've seen Blaine Voorhees get a lot of time on varsity. And Chris Bivens ultimately did not dress tonight. He's on the sidelines, however, wearing his jersey, no shoulder pads or helmet. And Blaine Voorhees is the starter for the Cardinals. So 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Baldwin Wallace trailing 20-10 to the Cardinals. And Hudson in the backfield with Austin Smith. Handoff to Smith. Smith finds a little hole and goes back to his right and tries to find more space. Gets a little bit more. And it's a gain of 3 yards on the play. It will be 2nd and 7.
Yep, Blaine Voorhees was involved in that tackle again. So Blaine's out there, and he's making plays, which is good to see to start the 2nd half. Otterbein defense looks like they are hungry and ready for this Baldwin Wallace offense.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard rush on a broken play by Austin Smith. And ball is on the right hash mark from the 32-yard line. Baldwin Wallace on their own side of the field. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Austin Smith in the backfield with Hudson. Quarterback Hudson hands it off to Smith again. Nice tackle there by Austin Jones at the line of scrimmage for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's a good tackle. Before that, it seemed like Austin Smith, it looked like he always got positive yardage right there, but that's a good tackle for loss by Austin Jones, like you said.
So here we are, 3rd and 5. Baldwin Wallace trying to answer back to the Julian Lowe touchdown, which gives Otterbein the 20-10 lead. 3rd and 5, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hudson drops back to pass, looks to the left, is rushed quickly, brought down hard by senior Kyle Bloost. It's a sack in the backfield, and it's a loss of 6 yards on the play. It will be 4th down for Baldwin Wallace, and Otterbein will get the ball back.
Yeah, 4th and 11 now. That's a huge sack by defensive lineman and senior, wearing number 5, Kyle Bloost.
And Otterbein really believes that they're the better team in this game. They won this contest last year. They're 4-2. They have the same record as Baldwin Wallace, but Otterbein really feel like they're a good team. And you wonder if maybe they'll start to get a little bit comfortable, especially after that touchdown and that 3-and-out.
Oh man, it looks like it's going to be running into the kicker right here. So that should be only 5 yards, and that should bring up 4th down again, and they get the repunt. But it looks like they're going to call that on number 9, Peyton Vanderkoy. It looks like he ran into his leg.
On the defense, number 9. Replay 4th down.
So, yes, they will redo 4th down. And traditionally that rule usually sets up, it's a personal foul, but lately after the rule change, it is just a running into the kicker rather than a roughing the kicker, which you don't want to get. It's a personal foul, which would have given Baldwin Wallace a 1st down.
Yes, it would have.
But fortunately for Otterbein, that rule has changed, and they will get the ball back if Baldwin Wallace elects to punt it again. Again, the 5-yard penalty sets them up for a 4th and 6.
It looks like Baldwin Wallace
just declined the penalty.
Yep. Oh, no, they're tacking the 5 yards on from the spot where it was kicked. So
okay.
Baldwin Wallace had an option right there to either assess it and re-kick it or to tack it onto the kick. So it seems like they like the kick and they tacked it on. So the ball will now be placed at the 26-yard line.
But, yeah, as I just mentioned, Otterbein, you don't want to get into that comfort zone. I mean, 10-point lead early on in the 3rd quarter here. 10 minutes and 37 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Still plenty of time for Baldwin Wallace to come back. And Otterbein kind of has this stigma where if they get a lead, they kind of get too comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely, especially with the way Baldwin Wallace's defense is, they're a very, very good defense. And you don't want them to get down to a late game situation and leave it into their hands because they're pretty good this year.
3 receivers to the left. Logan Stepp throws a bubble screen to Josh Pleininger, who makes his way up the far sideline and out to the 33-yard line. It's a solid little 7-yard reception, which sets up Otterbein for 2nd and 3.
And one main thing you've seen from the Cardinal offense is they like to get the ball outside. Like I said, away from those stud linebackers for Baldwin Wallace, Sam Groff, and Nischwitz. So they definitely are trying to get the ball outside and away from them, keeping the ball away from them, and hopefully getting some plays on the outside.
3 to the right. Logan Stepp hands it off to Christian Johnson, who has a nice lead block. Gets out to the 45-yard line where he's brought down on the tackle. And just like that, Otterbein gets a 1st down. 10 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. And Otterbein leads this ball game 20-10 over a Baldwin Wallace team that has won 3 games in a row. Otterbein is wearing white hats with red jerseys and red pants. Baldwin Wallace wearing yellow hats with white jerseys and white pants. Here's the play from the 45-yard line. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Kristen Johnson with Logan Stepp. Logan Stepp play action pass. Throws it over the top for Hunter Joseph, who's being held. Obviously being held.
Wow, no call from the referees. He was definitely being held by number 21 right there. And very surprising no call by the referee. He must not have seen what we saw up in the booth.
And that is pretty wild that flag wasn't thrown there. And maybe it's because the official must have thought there was a counter contact being made from Hunter Joseph. They thought maybe it was a two-way. That's my only logical explanation on that one.
Yeah, or maybe he thought the ball was uncatchable and didn't feel the need to throw the flag. But a lot of boos coming from the Otterbein stands in the sideline. Not happy about the call.
So 2nd and 10. Baldwin Wallace gets a nice break there. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield with Logan Stepp. Logan Stepp in the shotgun formation. Baldwin Wallace showing blitz from the outside. Keeper by Logan Stepp. Dances through the hole. Is moving up the side, or moving up the seam, and a flag is thrown in the backfield. This one likely to come back. It'll probably go against Otterbein. Justice May is the right guard in there for Peter LaChapelle. No, this one will actually go against Peter LaChapelle. Peter LaChapelle is in on the game, and he gets a penalty there. It's his second holding call on the day.
Yeah, so definitely for Peter, you got to just watch where your hands are. Your hands can't be outside. As long as they're inside and you're on the offensive line, if your hands are on the inside, they aren't going to call you. So definitely got to watch the penalty. Baldwin Wallace is still leading in penalties, but Otterbein has 2 big holding calls. So definitely got to watch that because now it makes it 2nd and 20.
Otterbein leads this game 20-10 with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Otterbein from their own 45-yard line, 2nd and 10. Logan Stepp in the backfield, shotgun formation with Christian Johnson flanked to his right. Stepp drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, rolls out to his right, throws it. A late pass is thrown for Julian Lowe. Otterbein coaches won another pass interference call, but that looked like it was a nice play there.
Yeah, they just kind of number 41 for the Baldwin Wallace defense, who is Kyle Kelly, just kind of broke on the ball. At the same time Julian did. He came to the ball, and he was going for the ball, not for him. So they're probably not going to call that in most situations. But good news for the Cardinals is Jared Conover is back in at right tackle. So he had some key blocks the last drive. So good to see him healthy and back in.
3 high safeties here for Baldwin Wallace, and they really are trying to protect the deep ball here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Otterbein 3rd and 20. Baldwin Wallace with a nickel package, but they're showing 2 men blitzing. Logan Stepp with a quarterback draw. Dances around at the line of scrimmage and ultimately loses about 3 yards. So Baldwin Wallace forces a 3 and out. And just when it looked like Otterbein was going to respond after scoring a touchdown, they were starting to move the ball. They got even across the 50-yard line there for a second, or at least got close to it, looking to make a couple big plays. And just like that, they got a 3 and out, and they got to punt the ball back to Baldwin Wallace. It's only a 10-point lead right now, I will mind you, with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Yeah, you're correct. Like I said, penalties for both teams are going to kill them. So penalty right there, holding call. The punt is away by San Filippo. Looks like a high punt, and it's going to bounce and beat down right there at the 27-yard line.
So Baldwin Wallace will take possession from their own 28. They trailed this one to Otterbein 20-10. And we'll take a little break here for some station idea. You're listening to 97.5 WOBN out of Westerville, Ohio. Or if you're tuning into our live stream, you're watching TNC Media. I'm Hayden Heilshorn here with my first-time color analyst, Brandon Shade. And we really like what we see out of the Cardinals so far. It looked like they had to battle back from some adversity early on. Baldwin Wallace was doing a good job defensively, but Otterbein's offense has responded and put 20 points up on the board. 8 minutes and 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. Baldwin Wallace with the ball and a handoff there along to the right. It's a jet motion that gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Ty Gallo was the ball carrier there.
That's a good way to stay up by Ty Gallo right there. Andre Douglas looked like he might have had a shoestring tackle on the outside for a loss of about 3 or 4, but he stuck his hand in the ground and got back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10 here for the Yellow Jackets.
2nd and 10 for Baldwin Wallace. Otterbein leads this game 20-10 with 7 minutes and 45 seconds. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Austin Smith in the backfield with quarterback Jake Hudson. Austin Smith now lined up to the right of Hudson. Hudson in the shotgun formation, drops back to pass, looks to his left, now to his right, is rushed. Has some room out to the right, decides to scramble the ball along the numbers, is tackled hard there by Austin Jones, who prevents Hudson from getting to the first down marker. It will be 3rd and short here for Baldwin Wallace.
Yeah, that's another good open field tackle by the Otterbein defense. And, definitely got to keep Jake Hudson to a minimum. He likes to run. He likes to be shifty. And, use his feet to get a little couple extra yards here and there. So good tackle, and it looks like they brought in Austin Torres as sub and Rick Herbst, both defensive ends.
Austin Jones, the linebacker, is leading the way with 9 solo tackles so far in this one. Here we are, Baldwin Wallace, 3rd and 3 on their own side of the field. And a pump fake on the bubble, and trying to make his way, Hudson, he gets off a first tackler and gets across the 45-yard line out to the 47. That's enough to move the chains. And Jake Hudson with a nice run there to keep Baldwin Wallace's drive alive. They trail 20-10 here in the 3rd.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see Baldwin Wallace's offense when they go into that formation. They kind of have a 2-back look with number 16, who is listed as a quarterback on the roster, and he is Matt Lowry. So, never put it past him.
He's a shifty guy.
Never put it past him to do a little double pass, maybe a trick play.
And dropping back is Hudson again. And he's blitzed quickly, and then he just threw it to get it away. He got it past the line of scrimmage, and it looked like maybe he got out of the tackle box enough for that one not to go for intentional grounding. 6 minutes and 7 seconds left here in the 3rd. And Baldwin Wallace has the ball on the 46-yard line, 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Otterbein would like a stop here and keep Baldwin Wallace to 10 points on this drive. And for sure not let them get into field goal range where they can put out their kicker, who's had a good 2017 campaign, Brandon Vollmer, who is 6 for 6 on the year, including a nice 34-yard field goal in this one. 3 receivers to the left, 1 halfback in the backfield, 1 receiver to the right. Hudson in the backfield with Smith. Here's a pass over there on the near sideline, stiff arm there from Steinwach.
And that's to their leading receiver, like you said, Steinwachs. So they're trying to get him the ball just like we are trying to get Julian Lowe the ball. So very interesting. They had a little screenplay going on right there, like their one-on-one matchup. So it's going to be a 3rd and 8 here. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Maybe a little bit of play action and try to get the ball over the middle of the field.
So that pass was complete there. Sets up Baldwin Wallace for 3rd and 8. 5 minutes and 55 seconds left in this 3rd quarter, and Otterbein leads this one 20-10 here at Memorial Stadium under the lights. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball on the left hash mark for Baldwin Wallace. Hudson drops back to pass. Looks to his right and is rolling that way. Is blitzed quickly and brought down there by sophomore defensive end Austin Torr out of Gahanna Lincoln.
I think that's going to be one of the keys for the Otterbein defense the rest of the game is to get pressure on number 10. Make Jake Hudson feel uncomfortable, whether it's in the pocket or running the ball outside the pocket. You do not want him to get in the zone of running the ball.
So Baldwin Wallace with their punt team out on the field. Otterbein has senior receiver Julian Lowe back deep. He's standing at his own 21-yard line awaiting this punt. Otterbein will get the ball back unless Baldwin Wallace does something trickery here. That punt is away. Julian Lowe takes a step back from his 20, fair catches, and that is exactly where Otterbein's offense will take over from the 20-yard line to defend their 20-10 lead here in the 3rd quarter with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left on the board. Thank you so much for listening to 97.5 WOBN out of Westerville, Ohio, or tuning in to our live stream at TNC Media. You're listening to Otterbein football's broadcast. They are taking on Baldwin Wallace here at home under the lights at Memorial Stadium in the friendly confines of Westerville, Ohio. And it is a pretty clear night.
1st and 10 Otterbein after
Some decent weather here. Not too hot, not too cold. Julian Lowe in the jet motion. Keeper by Logan Stepp. He has a little bit of space but tackled quickly. It looks like he gained 5 yards on the play. And Logan Stepp really doesn't look like he's running fast, but he really is. He hits his holes hard. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you may be keeping an eye on him, and all of a sudden, that man's in the secondary, and he's running for 6.
Yeah, he's very electric, and he may not be very shifty, but he makes guys miss just with his just pure speed and agility. He accelerates very quickly, and he gets things going.
2nd and 5 from their own 25-yard line. Stepp pitches it out to Johnson along the near sideline. Gets around the first tackler, but can't get through the second. A late flag coming in along the sidelines.
It looks like this will be a face mask on the defense.
And another flag coming in.
And maybe a sideline warning or someone on the sideline for Otterbein because he kind of threw that one straight up and not in an area.
So we'll await the call. There are 2 flags on the play. I'm assuming they're 2 different flags because they came in at different times. So we'll wait to see. If it stands, though, it's Christian Johnson rush that got to the line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd and 5 if the penalties were to offset, but we'll wait.
Foul, face mask, number 26 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that personal foul.
On Otterbein, their first of the half.
So that personal foul goes against Baldwin Wallace, and then the other foul goes against Otterbein. It's just a sideline warning, so no yards tacked onto that penalty. It sets up Otterbein for an automatic first down at the 40-yard line.
Yep. First one of the sideline warning. So first one when you have a sideline interference is with that ref is it's going to be a warning. And then the second one's going to be 15 yards. So I'd expect them to push people back. You know, things get exciting, you want to creep up, but you got to watch where you are.
From the 44-yard line, Otterbein on their own side of the field. They lead this one 20-10 with 4 minutes left in this one. Logan Stepp throws it over the top. Again, looking for Hunter Joseph. This time a flag comes in, and Hunter Joseph is going to get the call. He was double-teamed.
Yep, so that's when they the defense is bracketing him. So they've got a safety over top and a corner. So there's 2 guys. They've tried to bracket him to the sideline. But there's finally that call that Hunter's been looking for. Finally gets a pass interference call or a holding call on him, number 21. Looks like the call will be pass interference. So
that one goes against cornerback Ty Fields, the junior. He's 6'1", 170. And it looked like he was running stride with him. It didn't look like he had to make contact, but, you know, sometimes that's that tendency. When you feel that receiver get a little bit behind you, and when you're playing man-to-man, it's easy for you to want to stay in stride with him by using your hand to stay contact, but sometimes you can just get a little too grabby. Otterbein from the 41-yard line on Baldwin Wallace's side of the field. 1st and 10. Ball on the right hash mark. Logan Stepp hands it off for Christian Johnson around the first man, around the second, and with a little bit of space along the near sideline out to the 25-yard line, going towards the end zone. Looks like they'll mark him at the 27 out of bounds.
Yep, and there's another first down for Christian Johnson. Run the ball really well tonight.
He has run the ball well tonight, Brandon, and I really expect them to continue to feed him because he's just – prior to that play, he's averaging 10 yards a rush, which is just ridiculous to think about. When you look at the games that he's usually posting up, he's not averaging that much. But here's 3 receivers to the left. Logan Stepp with a quick pass to Hunter Joseph along the near numbers. Hunter Joseph around into the second level and tackled at the 11-yard line out of bounds. So Otterbein pushing deep into Baldwin Wallace territory, trying to extend their 10-point lead here in the third quarter. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. In the third. 3 receivers to the left. Hunter Joseph alone to the right. Logan Stepp flanked to the left by Christian Johnson. Logan Stepp throws it over the top for Hunter Joseph. And that one was incomplete. Well defended there by cornerback Ty Fields.
Yes, it was. Tried to go a little back shoulder fade right there quick and maybe catch it and turn upfield, get right in the end zone. But before that, you had 2 plays, 2 first downs. So expect the Otterbein offense to maybe run the ball right here.
Christian Johnson, who has 16 attempts and 168 yards on the day. I wouldn't be surprised if they hand the ball off to him here on 2nd and 10 from the 11. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Logan Stepp's going to keep this one on a quarterback draw. Tries to get around his defensive lineman, but gets tackled at about the line of scrimmage. Looked like it will be 3rd and 9 from the 10-yard line. And Otterbein with a decision to make if they don't get this first down, whether they want to kick the field goal and take the easy 3 points, or try to go for the end zone and extend that lead.
Yeah, it looks like Clay Ramirez is coming in here for the tight end, Josh Ploninger. So Baldwin Wallace also makes a substitute. So having 4 wide receivers on the field really spreads it out. So they might be looking to pass here, bringing another wide receiver in. Maybe a little play action. Try to get the ball over the middle of the field. Looks like they got 1 safety up there, so maybe a post on the far side.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield with Stepp. Stepp dropping back, looks to his left. Throws it quickly for Julian Lowe in the back of the end zone. Did he bring it down? Touchdown, Julian Lowe. Otterbein with another score.
And there it was, like I just said, a post on that far side for Julian Lowe. like I said, middle of the field was open. They only had one safety back, so that post route's going to be there most of the time. So it's good to see that Julian Lowe's a second touchdown reception of the day.
6 more points tacked onto the scoreboard here on Otterbein's beautiful campus. They lead this one 26-10, point after on the way. David Kukuka is snapping, and that last time he snapped it a little bit over the head of Ousley, who is the holder. This snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good. 27 unanswered points by this Otterbein offense, and they are rolling right now. 2 minutes and 33 seconds left here in the third quarter. And really, you can't have a better start to the second half.
No, you cannot. No. So, like we said earlier, the Baldwin Wallace defense is only allowed an average of 23.9 points per game. So Otterbein is just past that. So they are the second most team to score. So they have the second highest score against Baldwin Wallace this year, as Mount Union being first with 55. So it's good to see the Otterbein offense is back out the second half, doing their thing and driving down the field and getting to the end zone again for Julian Lowe.
That Otterbein drive was 7 plays, 80 yards, and the touchdown by Julian Lowe is his second receiving touchdown on the day. And what a remarkable story by Julian Lowe he is here for Otterbein. Coming into today, Julian Lowe, through 6 games, had 6 receiving touchdowns. He gets number 7 and 8 both tonight, that one coming off that last drive. There's a squib kick there. Bounces up and taken by the wedge man. Across the 35-yard line, still moving off the scrum here. And finally brought down at about the 33-yard line, where Baldwin Wallace will take possession and try to answer back. They trail by 17 points here. With 2 minutes, the clock is running right now, and I'm scratching my head as to why. It looks like that will need to be reset.
On the tackle for Otterbein.
But yeah, as you can see, kicker Joe Sanfilippo definitely kept the ball on the ground again on this kickoff, trying to get it out of the hands and stay out of the hands of dangerous returner Jordan Leverett. So Hayden, as you said, it looks like they are resetting the game clock right now. But Jordan Leverett's out on the field, didn't get the touch on the kickoff, and number 19 is on the near side of the field. And I would expect a big play for him. Like we said earlier in today's broadcast, he's got 6 catches on the year, and 3 of those are touchdowns. He's only played in 4 games. So the last 3 games he's had a touchdown reception. So I would not be surprised if they take a deep shot. They had him open in the end zone earlier in the game, and he just had it slip right out of his hands. So we'll see what they do this drive.
Logan Stepp on the year in 2017 has thrown 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And if you remember back to last year, through 10 games, he had 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So he's already matched what he did last year tonight in just the 7th game of the season. Still 3 more ball games left to play for Otterbein, but still another quarter and a little bit left of the third here in this one. Otterbein leads 27-10. 2 minutes left in this one. Hudson drops back, throws a deep bomb. He has a man beat. That pass was incomplete, over the head there. And he had the right idea. He was looking for wide receiver Rob Wolfington, but it was well covered by Prince Franklin. It looked like off the initial jump, Prince Franklin got beat a little bit, but he was able to track it down. But the ball was overthrown, so it didn't matter. So 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. Baldwin Wallace has the ball. They trail 27-10 with 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the third under the lights here at Memorial Stadium in the quaint Westerville, Ohio. Here we are, Hudson in the backfield with All-OAC running back Austin Smith. Play action pass. Hudson rolls out to his right, steps back, tries to find some space, tries to find a passing lane, throws it over the top and off to the sidelines and out of bounds.
Jake Hudson has to be careful there throwing it up like that. Fred Hargrove is screaming towards the ball on the sideline. I think if he has an extra 2 steps, he might be able to catch it and maybe get his feet in bounds.
Otterbein putting their nickel package out onto the field. They'll throw in an extra DB. Melvin Medina coming out there. And Brandon Paschal is moving over to about the mid-safety kind of level, and that's what you do. That's what Coach Moore's defense kind of looks like. They have that nickel back come in. It looks like Medina's going to come in at the corner, and Paschal will move to the nickel back. But here we are, 3rd and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Baldwin Wallace down by 17. Hudson drops back, pump fakes. It's a screenplay. That one just hits the ground, and it will be 4th and 10. Otterbein will likely get the ball back depending on what Coach Hilvert decides to do.
You know, that's 2 third downs where Baldwin Wallace has tried to throw screen passes. So, again, Otterbein defense. Andre Douglas was there again. So was Austin Jones. So it's a really good defensive possession by Otterbein. And it's kind of like they almost knew the screen pass was coming there, Hayden. Dominic Lombardi is back to punt for Baldwin Wallace, and lone return man Julian Lowe.
Julian Lowe standing at his own 26-yard line back to receive this punt. This punt is right at about that range. It goes out of bounds. Takes a Baldwin Wallace bounce along the sideline. Very nice bounce. Out to about the 13-yard line. So Otterbein kind of pinned back in their own territory. And they'll have 87 yards to the goal line to try to get another touchdown. They lead this one 27-10 with 1 minute and 35 seconds. Otterbein has scored 27 unanswered points. And they just need to continue to add on. They need to have their foot on the pedal all the way through, Brandon. I can't express that enough. Otterbein does not want to let up at all. Baldwin Wallace is a team that can strike quickly and fast. They have the guys to do it.
Yes, they can. Like earlier in the game, they've had 2 open touchdowns they dropped. So if they have those, there's 11 points. It's 27-21, 1 possession game.
Logan Stepp hands it off to his running back. This time it is Dakota Smith with a nice carry out to the 25-yard line.
Dakota Smith, before that carry, has had 1 rush for 2 yards. So, and he had a touchdown on that rush. So he has also been involved in the Otterbein offense.
So here we are, ball in the right hash mark, 1 minute and 20. Handoff again to Smith. Smith over the OAC logo here on the near side, gets to the 30-yard line. It's a nice little 6-yard carry. Sets up Otterbein for a 2nd and about 3 yards.
I agree. And right now, what the Otterbein offense is doing is they're taking Christian Johnson out, who has 168 rushing yards, and they're letting Dakota Smith, getting his feet wet and getting out there and run the ball a little bit.
Under a minute left to play in the third. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Smith in the backfield with Logan Stepp. Stepp in the shotgun formation. Play action pass, throws it off to Josh Pleininger, who has a nice catch and is moving up the far sideline and is brought down at the 45-yard line.
Yes, that's another good downfield block by number 9 wide receiver Peyton Vanderkoy. He's been making a lot of good blocks tonight. No receptions up there yet, but he's had some awesome downfield blocks, and he turns plays that look like nothing and turns them into something for him.
Well into the final minute here in the third quarter. Otterbein leads 27-10. They have the ball on the 45-yard line, trying to get across the 50 here into Baldwin Wallace territory. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Logan Stepp hands it off to Dakota Smith, who has stood up very quickly there off the little sweep run. And it was a nice defensive effort there by Michael Rush, the senior, and he's a big body at 290 pounds, 6'2". And that will do it at the end of the third quarter. Otterbein leads 27-10. Well, we have a sideline reporter down there on the sideline tonight, and our friend Sammer is going to give us a little inside information on the sideline. Sammer?
Hi, I'm Sammer Hammond here with TNC Media, and let me tell you something. If there's one name that the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets remember from now on, is Christian Johnson, 168 yards rushing right now. With the Cardinals going off last time I checked, about 277 yards right now, total of rushing. Thanks. Back to you guys.
First half, Notre Dame 28, USC.
Thanks for that sideline report, Sammer. We're back here up in the booth. Otterbein leads this one, like we said, 27-10. 15 minutes left, a whole quarter. But through 3 in the books, Otterbein is looking like they're starting to pull away here. They've scored 27 unanswered points.
Yep, and they got a 2nd and 12 coming up right here, so they're hoping to get half the yardage back on first down or on the 2nd down attempt, and
2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss by Dakota Smith. Otterbein now moving from right to left, wearing white hats, red jerseys, and red pants. Baldwin Wallace wearing yellow hats, white jerseys, and white pants. Snap by Step. Step drops back, looks over the top, throws it deep for Vanderkoy with a nice catch at the 40-yard line into Baldwin Wallace territory. He moves the chains for an Otterbein first down.
Yep, and that's the first reception by number 9, Peyton Vanderkoy. He's been kind of their go-to guy this year on kind of lawn stuff and on like second down conversions. He doesn't have a lot of catches, but he does have a lot of touchdowns for the Cardinals.
1st and 10 now in Baldwin Wallace territory. From the 40-yard line, Logan Stepp and company. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Dakota Smith in the backfield for the Cardinals. They lead this one 27-10. Logan Stepp hands it off to Smith. Smith tries to get through a hole there. Off the halfback dive is tackled by linebacker Sam Groff, the senior, for Baldwin Wallace.
Looks like Josh Ploninger is going to come back in for 81 Clay Ramirez in at the tight end position. But Peyton, before tonight, had 10 catches for 182 yards. That's a nice 18.2 average. Like I said, lawn average, and he had 3 of those 10 were touchdowns. So he's kind of their go-to guy when it comes to lawn yardage.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Logan Stepp in the backfield with Dakota Smith. Shotgun formation, flank to the left of Stepp. He gets the defense to jump. Nope, this one's going to go false start against Otterbein.
Yep, number 9 right here on the near side, like we were just saying, Peyton Vanderkoy. Sadly, he stuck his foot out, and he got a little false start called on him. So even though the defense did jump, it will go on Peyton first.
So the false start moves Otterbein back 5 yards to the 45-yard line. They're still on Baldwin Wallace's side of the field. And Brandon, it is a beautiful night for OSU football. And this is your first game calling. How do you like it up here in the booth?
I like it a lot. As being a former player and wide receiver for this offense, it's a little different being up here in the booth, but I like it, and it's good to see this side of the football game.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Logan Stepp on his own Baldwin Wallace's 44-yard line with Dakota Smith in the backfield. Stepp throws it over the top for Hunter Joseph. That ball came out and taken and scooped up by Baldwin Wallace on the far sideline. Returning it is Ty Fields. Ty Fields gets brought down at the 45-yard line. And some pushing and shoving after.
That's a costly turnover for the Otterbein offense, who looked like they were driving. And it looked like they had their foot on the gas and driving downfield. And Hunter just caught a quick slant and got hit, and the ball just popped right out. So
Christian Johnson has 168 yards tonight.
And there is a penalty flag on the play. I don't know if it's going to be on Otterbein or Baldwin Wallace. I saw 2 kind of late hits on both, so they might be offsetting. But right now I saw a really late hit by one of the defensive linemen for Baldwin Wallace.
So we'll await what the call is, but if it stands, it's a fumble. Hunter Joseph, the receiver, puts the ball on the turf. And Baldwin Wallace, now they're down by 17 with plenty of time left to come back, still early on in the 4th quarter. And the flag is being waved off here. So there will be no penalty on the play. Nonetheless, Baldwin Wallace takes over possession. Now on Otterbein's side of the field at the 45-yard line. And Otterbein with a missed opportunity there. They were getting close to the red zone, and then they have just a little mistake there, just a fumble. Gives Baldwin Wallace the football back. And that's why we do love football, because now the momentum shifts a little bit. Let's see what the Yellow Jackets can do.
Here's
a handoff here. It's a pass. This pass is deep. It is caught at the 10, 5, touchdown Baldwin Wallace. And just like that, the Yellow Jackets strike back. Rob Wolfington on the wide receiver pass. And it's a touchdown. 45-yard touchdown pass.
You knew something tricky was going to have to come, because they had their third-string quarterback in, like we said earlier, who his name is Matt Lowry, and Jake Hudson was on the sideline. But as I said, whenever there's 2 quarterbacks in there, you gotta watch out for some trickery.
45-yard touchdown pass from Will Vance to Rob Wolfington.
Will Vance, the receiver, threw a beautiful ball there to his fellow receiver, Rob Wolfington.
That's not a surprising play call either.
And it is quite common. Actually, Heidelberg hit that one on Otterbein last week.
When you have when you're down and you need a little spark, a little something extra, trick plays always work. They get the team excited, they get the sideline excited, and they put some points on the board. So Baldwin Wallace scores on that double pass right there.
And that is their first touchdown in a while there, Brandon. Baldwin Wallace hasn't scored since the first quarter. And they get a touchdown on their first offensive play in the fourth. And just like that, 27-17 ball game. Otterbein still has the lead here at Memorial Stadium. And they're going to get the kickoff. Peyton Vanderkoy and Julian Lowe back to receive. They're standing at their own 10-yard line, awaiting this kickoff here. 13 minutes and 8 seconds left in this football game. Otterbein is 4-2 on the year, and Baldwin Wallace is also 4-2. Both these teams sitting dead even in the standings. Shallow kick takes a bounce and is taken by Jake Harper, who is hit very hard and low, and a little bit of energy coming from the Baldwin Wallace side of the field.
Yep, and that's Baldwin Wallace running down the field, and good kickoff coverage. And they hit Jake Harper, who was normally a linebacker, pretty hard. And pretty lucky Jake Harper didn't fumble that football being hit that hard. He normally doesn't carry the ball. So Baldwin Wallace looks really energized coming into the fourth quarter right here, and they're down 10. So see what they can do.
So Otterbein takes possession at the 27-yard line, 13 minutes and 2 seconds. They lead this one 27-17 over OAC rival Baldwin Wallace. Here we are under the lights at Memorial Stadium. Otterbein trying to maintain that lead and also maintain their position in the standings above Baldwin Wallace. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield. Hand off to Johnson. Johnson with a little bit of space, dances around and trips up and gets tackled at the 37-yard line. Mark it the 36.
And there's another good run for Christian Johnson, Just looks like short of 10 yards, so another 9-yard rush. So his average is through the roof right now, like you said.
He's having a stellar game here tonight, and a lot of that is a credit due to the offensive front that has really led the way for the Cardinal running back. Here we are at the 36-yard line. Otterbein on their own side of the field. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson in the backfield. Handoff again to Johnson. He gets a nice little gain across the first down marker.
Yeah, Christian Johnson's really he's really grinding and just keeps going upfield. Sticks a foot in the ground and gets upfield, gets positive yardage almost every play. So Christian Johnson is wanting the ball right now.
And it is a career-high day for Christian Johnson, at least a season high. He had 117 yards versus Capital. Here's a bubble pass there to Julian Lowe, and he's hit pretty hard. And a dangerous play there. Could have been picked off. But, yes, Christian Johnson, we can talk about him all day. 180 yards, still no touchdowns, but he's averaging 10 a carry. But here is Otterbein, 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line, trying to defend a 10-point lead here, just under 12 minutes left in the ball game. That bubble screen was not completed. Julian Lowe dropped it, but he was hit hard there by Baldwin Wallace's cornerback, Corey Sparrow. Here we are, 2nd and 10. Otterbein on their own 39, trying to get a first down and move the chains. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Christian Johnson flanked to the right of Logan Stepp.
I would look to Peyton Vanderkoy here, maybe have to see him.
Stepp drops back, looks to his right, throws it quickly there for Hunter Joseph. That one is knocked incomplete by Ty Fields, who had an earlier couple pass interference calls that didn't go his way and caused and later led to an Otterbein score, but he makes a big play there on 2nd and 10 to keep Otterbein from moving the ball. So 3rd and long here, and the Baldwin Wallace faithful starting to make some noise on the visiting side of the stands.
Yeah, and their sideline's getting pretty fired up over there too. They've made 2 stops on the first 2 plays of this first down right here on this set of downs. But you're gonna have to see Otterbein see if they get a first down here, 3rd and 10.
Here's the snap. Stepp drops back, looks over the middle, throws it to Peyton Vanderkoy, who's hit hard.
There's
Flag coming in. This one's gonna go against free safety Kyle Kelly. If it is what we believe it is, which
like there's another flag as well,
which we think is defensive pass interference, we'll see.
Yep. So Kyle Kelly right there, number 41, just came with the ball a little too early. Peyton was diving over the middle, trying to make the catch in midair, and when he's in midair like that, and you hit him, it's going to be pretty obvious that you moved the position of his body. And Peyton didn't have the chance to catch that ball after being hit. But there is another flag on the 40-yard line down over on the Baldwin Wallace sideline. So if I were to guess on that one, I'd say that is probably a sideline warning on them. You are correct, yeah. So
we'll see.
2 flags on the play. We'll wait and see what they are.
But as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and here's the call.
Yep, there's pass interference on number 41, Kyle Kelly.
And as you mentioned earlier, unsportsmanlike goes against Baldwin Wallace. So
oh wow! So they must have said something pretty vulgar on that sideline to get an unsportsmanlike called from the bench. So there's
a nice
30
break
yards
there for the Cardinals. Nice break there for Otterbein.
So you get 15 yards from the line of scrimmage for that pass interference, and then since that unsportsmanlike was after the play and after the whistle, you get another 15 yards. So Otterbein just gained 30 yards, and they didn't have to do anything.
Baldwin Wallace, 7 penalties for 72 yards is really starting to become a factor here.
Yeah, penalties are killer right there. So defense, Baldwin Wallace defense is looking a little undisciplined on this drive.
11 minutes and 47 seconds. Otterbein with the ball at 31. Logan Stepp with a quick pass to Hunter Joseph is complete. Hunter Joseph caught the pass on his knees, so he's automatically down right where he caught it at about the 25-yard line. It's a nice 6-yard reception and moves the football a little bit. Otterbein now in the red zone here. And what do you call now if you're Otterbein? I mean, you want to run the ball to get the clock off, but you also probably want to score here and regain that lead.
That is true. So if I were our offensive coordinator for the Cardinals, right now I'd either call a run to Christian Johnson, get him going again because we passed the ball a lot recently in the drive, or I would maybe call a necessarily QB draw with Stepp. Looks like they're going to call a timeout and figure out exactly what they want to call.
And yeah, we mentioned earlier Christian Johnson has 180 yards on the day. That is his a career high here at Otterbein, and you got to tip your hat off to him, but also you got to tip off your hat to this offensive line that has just been incredible and led the way all the way for the Cardinals, including Jared Conover, who had a couple big blocks that we saw right in front of our faces were just immaculate.
Yes,
and he's really set up Otterbein with a chance to win this game. And Otterbein's just kind of dominated that front line all night, and it's really exciting to see the Cardinals hold on to this lead after being down 10-0 early. And now here we are in the fourth quarter with a 10-point lead, and you'll take that any day over any team.
Exactly,
I mean, I'll take a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter now. It's a matter of holding on to that lead and making sure Baldwin Wallace kind of limiting their momentum that they get on plays and just kind of, you know, if Baldwin Wallace makes a big play, like, just respond. Come back to the line of scrimmage and be ready to take the next snap.
I agree. And, you know, Christian Johnson, as we keep talking about, has 180 yards, but, you know, don't despite Logan Stepp, he's got 107 on the ground too. So Otterbein's total rushing yardage is 305. So, like we said, look for a rush here by Christian Johnson or maybe Logan Stepp on a running play.
Stepp with Johnson to his right, ball on the right hash mark from the 25. It's a keeper by Stepp. Stepp kind of trips and he gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 5 here from the 25-yard line. The clock is ticking, just over 11 minutes left to play.
Yep, and there it was, like I said, that quarterback draw. So he dropped back like he was going to pass for a step and then tucked it and tried to get upfield. So now if you're Otterbein, you know, you got 3rd and 5. You're going to look for like a quick hitch route or maybe a slant to Hunter Joseph. But as we saw the last drive, he did fumble a slant. So maybe looking at Josh Plonger's had some nice catches over the mid.
Ball on the right hash mark, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. It's 3rd and 5 from the 25-yard line. They need to get to about the 20 for the first down. Stepp drops back, looks for Julian Lowe. That pass is complete and over the middle, down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for Otterbein.
That's a good play call right there. Like I said, quick slant, get the pass out quick. Baldwin Wallace did bring the blitz on that. They brought both linebackers, Nishwitz and Sam Groff. So very smart to get the ball out of Stepp's hands and avoid a sack to get it to Julian Lowe, who has 2 touchdown catches this great night.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the 14-yard line. Otterbein trying to strike. They lead 27-17 with just over 10 minutes left to play here in this ball game under the lights at Memorial Stadium. Their only night game of the year here in Westerville. Here's Logan Stepp in the backfield of Johnson. And it's going to be a handoff to Johnson. Johnson to the left with some space over the goal line. Touchdown, Christian Johnson. Otterbein gets a score And just like that, Otterbein regains the 17-point lead if the kick after goes good.
What a performance by Christian Johnson tonight. That's he finally got that running touchdown that I think he's been wanting all night. You know, he probably talked to his offensive quarterback and his lineman and said, hey, keep grinding, keep going. You know, I'm going to get that score sooner or later. So there's finally his first score of the night. So looks like Hoyle is up to attempt the kick.
Usually holding. Dave Kakuka is snapping for the Cardinals. This kick is up and away, and Otterbein has a 17-point lead here. 9 minutes and 53 seconds. Otterbein leads Baldwin Wallace 34-17. Both teams coming in tonight are 4-2, and one team will walk away with a win, and one team will walk away with a loss. So far, if that score holds, Otterbein will improve to 4-2 in the OAC and 5-2 overall, but you know, you don't want to jump the gun. Still plenty of time left for Baldwin Wallace to do the thing we talked about. They got some good players on their side.
I agree. Just under 10 minutes left. You don't want to leave anything to chance. You know, down 17 and there's still 10 minutes left. So you could have, you know, quick offensive possession. Their last offensive possession was, you know, one play. It was that trick play for 45 yards. So it only lasted 8 seconds, and you definitely don't want to take the foot off the gas here if you're Otterbein. And whether you're offense or defensively, you want to keep the pressure on, keep the pressure up, and keep that margin of points where it is. You know.
I couldn't agree more there, Shade. And here we are. Otterbein again leads 34-17, 9 minutes and 53 seconds. San Filippo kicking off here for the Cardinals. That kick is a line drive kick out there for Jordan Leverett. Leverett's going to take it. On the far sideline. He has some space up the sideline. And no one's going to catch him. Prince Franklin trying to chase him down. And a whistle coming down and a flag. Looks like they're going to mark him out of bounds.
Man, like we said, you do not want Leverett to get the ball. He is explosive. That is his third kick return of the day, and they have all been past the 50-yard line. He is a playmaker for them, and I would not be surprised if they tried to get him the ball on this possession.
Again, Otterbein just kind of has to respond. You know, okay, Baldwin Wallace has a big play. They get a little bit momentum. Their bench gets a little bit hyped. Otterbein's got to keep coming at them. And this is a football game. It's a game. You can't let your head, you can't let your emotions get too much involved, especially in a game like this when Otterbein has struggled to hold fourth-quarter leads this year. I mean, they've given up a lot of fourth-quarter points in home games to Wilmington and to Muskingum. Put that all aside. Here we are. 9 minutes and 43 seconds. You're playing a tough OAC opponent. You got a 34-17 lead. And let's get a couple stops here, and let's put another score on the board, okay?
I agree.
Because you know what? You know what sounds a lot better than 34-17? 41-17. And I don't want this game to be any closer than it is if I'm an Otterbein fan. As much as I love close football games, I like to see the Cardinals handle this one the way that they should. But here's Baldwin Wallace from their own 28-yard line. Handoff there. Nope. Play action pass. Deep. Throws it over the top. It's Wolfington. Wolfington with a catch and pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
There's 2 catches in a row for Rob Wolfington. He had that touchdown last drive, and he has another long catch right here. So there was a holding call on that kickoff, which brought him back to their 30-yard line. But they're already back to where they almost would have been with that catch by Rob Wolfington. Leverett is in on the near side of the field, so I would not be surprised if Hudson goes to him.
Hudson looks right that direction, throws it over the top to Leverett. Brandon Paschal jumped up for it, and a nice play there by Paschal to try to prevent the catch. Leverett will argue pass interference, but Paschal looked like he played that one pretty clean. And he's starting to taunt Leverett, and that's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to give up a penalty for no reason, and luckily the officials just brushed that one aside. But it would have been a 40-yard touchdown pass to Leverett, but nice play there by freshman cornerback Brandon Paschal. 2nd and 10 for Baldwin Wallace. They trail this one to the Cardinals 34-17, 9 minutes and 18 seconds left. Baldwin Wallace at the 39-yard line in Otterbein territory. 2 in the backfield for Hudson. Motioning one out to the left. Hudson looks to his left and is brought down quickly in the backfield. The ball is loose, but covered there by running back Austin Smith.
So they actually gain a yard by Hudson fumbling that ball. And it just popped right out. So like I said, that's going to be the key to the second half for the Otterbein defense is pressuring their quarterback, Jake Hudson, number 10. They're going to want to keep the pressure on him and make him feel uncomfortable in that pocket. Because, down 17, they're going to have to pass the ball. And the defense knows that, the offense knows that, and everyone in the stands knows that. So we'll see what they call here on a 3rd and 9.
And
looks like there might
some
be
whistles here.
a clock reset maybe.
That last drive from Otterbein on that touchdown was 8 plays, 73 yards.
Fumble recovered on the play by
And
Baldwin Wallace.
more importantly, gave Otterbein a 34-17 lead. Here's Baldwin Wallace trying to respond. From the 38-yard line, 3rd and 9. Hudson dropping back. Is the pocket collapse? It's another fumble! And he fumbled it to Austin Smith again, who gained 1 more yard.
Exactly. So same play twice in a row. This time, Kyle Blust as the one that wrapped him up and knocked the ball out of his hand as he was trying to throw the ball right there. So, like you said, another yard after he fumbled. So it is. Looks like it's 4th and 15 here after 2 straight sacks and 2 straight fumbles. Otterbein defense is looking stout right now.
4th and 15. Baldwin Wallace in 4-down territory. Time starting to become a factor. 8 minutes and ticking here in this one. In the final quarter of action, Otterbein with a 17-point lead here under the lights at Memorial Stadium. Hudson with the ball on the right hash mark in the pistol formation. Now motions, drops back to pass. Pocket collapses, steps up, throws it over the middle. Brandon Paschal jumps up to try to intercept it, but it's brought down hard there, and it is going to be a catch. Nice catch there from receiver Will Vance. I think it's Will Vance. In my own excitement, I couldn't see the number. Brandon Paschal was tracking that one down, and he jumped up and tried to go for it. Here's Baldwin Wallace with the ball at the 1-yard line.
It looks like that was number 88, Ty Ramsier, the junior wide receiver. So that should be his first catch of the game. And what a catch.
Hand off to Smith. Smith is brought down hard at the 1-yard line. So a nice goal line defense effort there by Otterbein.
4th and 15. And why? That was a wild catch if you ask me, Pretty well defended by Brandon Paschal, but it was a jump ball. He went up and got it.
He looks like he bobbled it when he went up for it there, Brandon, and when he couldn't come down with it, Ramsier was able to haul it down for Baldwin Wallace, and now they're at the 2-yard line looking to score, trying to answer back here. 34-17, Cardinals with the lead, 6 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. Ball on the 2-yard line, 2nd and goal. Motion coming in from left to right. Handoff again to Smith. Smith is stood up in the backfield. Nice job by Otterbein's defensive front. Baldwin Wallace with the 3rd and goal. There is a Cardinal down on the field. It looks like it's Andre Douglas.
There's 6 minutes and 33 seconds left in this 4th quarter.
And Douglas gets up, and he's fine, so trainers come back. Go ahead, Brandon.
And so it's going to be 3rd and goal right here. Big 3rd down right here. But it looks like someone's helmet is off. Looks like Kyle Blust, number 5. So he is coming off the field. He has to come off for a play if his helmet is off. And number 51, Dave Kukuka, goes out there. Sophomore defensive lineman for Blust.
So here we are, 3rd down and 3 with 6 minutes and 23 seconds from the goal line, 3rd and goal. It's a play-action pass. Hudson rolls out to his right, throws a sharp angle ball for Ramsier for the touchdown.
And wow, what a play for Baldwin Wallace right there. You have Ramsier that kept their drive going with that huge catch down to the 3-yard line, and then you reward him by throwing him the touchdown pass. So that's Ty Ramsier on the touchdown reception with 6:16 left. If the kick is good, it would make it 34-23 Otterbein, or 24 Otterbein.
34-23, point after on the way, 6 minutes and 16 seconds. This game is far from over. Kick is up, and it hits the post and doesn't go in. And the Otterbein lead remains by 11, 34-23.
That's a huge missed extra point as Otterbein also missed one earlier in the game. And I know Hayden and I were talking earlier in the game, and even before the game, and I was saying how their young freshman kicker was 5 for 5 on field goals, but he had missed 2 extra points. He was 20 for 22 coming into tonight's game. So there's another miss right there, and Otterbein also missed one. So looks like Otterbein's offense is going to come back on the field, try to waste some time, and get some time chewed off the clock a little bit here.
Still 6 minutes and 16 seconds left to play. Otterbein, one way to keep the clock moving is to run the football, and they've done a great job. They've ran the ball for 318 yards today by both their quarterback, receiver, and running back, Christian Johnson. They've done a lot on the ground, and I can't really picture them going anywhere from Christian Johnson. Number 4 has done magnificent work on the ground today.
Yep, it looks like Baldwin Wallace is going to try the onside kick. Otterbein's hands team's out there. It's high.
That kick goes 5 yards and passed. Picked up there.
Look who it is, number 88, Ty Ramsier, recovers it. He has been an absolute stud these past 3 plays.
So Baldwin Wallace has the football yet again at the 48-yard line. What is happening here, Brandon?
Well, to me it just looks like, 88's been he's made 3 huge plays. You have a deep pass play that it's a jump ball, it's 50-50, and he came down with it. And you have a 3rd and goal, and it's a rollout pass, and Noah was on in the end zone. He made a nice catch going across his body. And then that onside kick, we had a guy there just took a bad bounce between his legs, and Ramsier was there, got it, and made up for it. So 88's been making plays this past drive for Baldwin Wallace, and now they got the ball down 11 with 6:14 left on the clock.
Baldwin Wallace from their 48-yard line. Here they go, trying to score again. Hudson drops back, looks over to his left. Throws a long pass there for Leverett, who's got some room. Off the far sideline, jumps over a guy and pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Nice little carry there. And just like this.
And wow, what a hurdle. What a hurdle by Leverett. He knew 21 Blaine Voorhees must have been going low. And he jumped after running, and nice little hurdle right there on the sideline for a fellow track athlete. I say it's pretty impressive. 6
minutes and 4 seconds. Baldwin Wallace trails by 11, and they have the ball down at the 5-yard line. First and goal here for Baldwin Wallace on the left hash mark. Hudson in the backfield with Austin Smith. Austin Smith to the left of Hudson. Hudson snaps, looks over to his left, throws it over the top for Leverett, who can't bring it down, and a pass interference call will come.
That's a rough pass interference call. Brings the ball down to the 2.5-yard line. So in the end zone, that happens. It's rough, but you'd rather give up a pass interference than a touchdown.
34-23, the Cardinals with the lead. Baldwin Wallace trying to strike after the onside kick recovery by Ty Ramsier. They've done magnificent work here, and like I said, Baldwin Wallace is going to have those big plays, but it's like, how does Otterbein respond? Here we are on the goal line. You have an 11-point lead. Baldwin Wallace has the ball.
Other quarterback is in. That'd be number 16, Matt Lowry. It's not Hudson.
It's a jump pass. He throws it over the top, and it is complete. That pass is good. Another touchdown. Patrick Orsini, the sophomore, 6'2", 195, hauls in that grab, and just like that, it's a 5-point ball game. Extra point coming on the way.
Otterbein's defense, you got to know something tricky when number 16's in at quarterback. The last time he was in, they threw that trick reverse pass. So you got to know something's coming when number 16's in. It looks like Baldwin Wallace is late to bring their field goal team out. It looks like they will go for 2. Quarterback Jake Hudson's coming out right now. So it looks like Baldwin Wallace will go for 2 here. Make it a 3-point game if they get it. Right now it is 34-29 with 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go. So Jake Hudson is out there right now attempting that 2-point conversion.
Here we are, ball in the middle of the field, going for 2. They trail by 5. Here's a snap. Hudson throws it over to the left. Nice play there by Paschal. That's one goes incomplete.
So now it is not a 3-point game. It remains 29-34. So that's a huge stop on the 2-point conversion, because if they make that, they're down 3. And as we said earlier, their kicker, their young freshman kicker, is 6 for 6 this year on field goals, and you do not want to leave the game in his hands, Hayden. So Otterbein will receive the ball. As seen, Baldwin Wallace has 3 timeouts. I would expect them to have another squib kick. You don't want an onside kick and have Otterbein get it this time and have great field position on the 40-yard line. So I would expect a squib kick, and hopefully they're hoping for a stop. You know, a 3-and-out, maybe call 3 timeouts, two timeouts. And then Otterbein's hoping to get the ball, get a couple first downs, run some clock off, and win this game.
I mean, it's simple, Brandon. Otterbein's just given up too many big plays in a row. And what they're finding out here, that you give up 3 or 4 big plays, and that equal outs to like a lot of points.
It does.
And a 12-point little streak here by Baldwin Wallace has brought them within 5 here after they trailed by 17. Otterbein led 34-17, but back-to-back touchdowns, including an onside kick, brings Baldwin Wallace right back in it. And here they are kicking off. This one sent deep for Julian Lowe. He takes it at his own 6-yard line, tries to find some room up the numbers, shifts around, and gets tackled at about the 24-yard line. So Otterbein, what do you do here? It's like all of a sudden you were thinking about, okay, we're going to milk the clock down, going to put the ball on the ground, going to run it, but it's a 5-point ball game now. You got to move the football and try to go get another score.
Yeah, you know, you want to run the ball, you want to keep the ball on the ground and keep the time clicking, but you also don't want to just go 3 and out. You need first down, so I would expect them to run the ball here first. And then if they don't get a nice 3 or 4 yard gain, I would expect a pass. But they definitely got to keep passing the ball this drive to get first downs and retain first downs, unless the run game's working.
3 receivers to the left for Logan Stepp, 1 to the right for one to the right. Christian Johnson lined up to the left. Hand off there for Johnson. Johnson tries to find a hole. Has stood up very quickly there and gets nothing on the play.
So with Christian Johnson not getting much on that play, it leaves a long 2nd and 10. So you're hoping for either a QB draw right here to Logan Stepp to get half those yards or more, or maybe like a quick pass to get half the yards to make an easier 3rd down completion.
2nd down and 10 for Otterbein. They lead this ball game 34-29. A little over 5 minutes left in this one. They're trying to secure a win versus Baldwin Wallace. Otterbein led by 17 early on in this quarter, but Baldwin Wallace has back-to-back strikes. Here we are. Logan Stepp rolls out to his right, tries to find some space, dances around, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and is brought down.
Yep, so there was that QB run, like I said, that I figured they'd go to, but no gain on the play. So that leaves a 3rd and 10, and you got to pass the ball here. Unless you do another draw or screen pass, I would expect them to pass the ball, maybe get to their playmakers. Julian Lowe maybe over the middle, or Hunter Joseph on that backside over there.
3 receivers to the left. Hunter Joseph alone to the right. Christian Johnson in the backfield with Logan Stepp. 3rd and 9. Otterbein needs to move the football here to try to maintain this lead. Baldwin Wallace trying to get the ball back. A little over 4 minutes left here in the ball game. Baldwin Wallace showing blitz. Logan Stepp throws it quickly to Peyton Vanderkoy, who has a catch across the 35-yard line. 1st down, Otterbein.
As I said earlier in the game, Peyton Vanderkoy is kind of their sleeper wide receiver. He doesn't have many catches, but when he does, they are long, and they are normally on 3rd down to get a 1st down. He's got sure hands out there on the far side of the field wearing number 9.
Just under 4 minutes left to play. Time is a factor, but Otterbein has the ball 1st and 10 after the nice catch there by Peyton Vanderkoy.
After getting that 1st down, it looks like the Cardinal offense is going to wait till the game clock runs down to the last 10 to 5 seconds to finally call a play, which is smart. You know, you want to maximize your
Waste
time.
as much time as possible. Yep,
Yes,
absolutely right. Here's Logan Stepp. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson around a couple guys. Gets a nice substantial gain out to the 42-yard line.
One big thing for the Cardinals is you got to hold on to the ball this possession. You know, you've had one costly turnover that turned into points, and you don't want another. So looking to hold on to the ball here, keep the ball on the ground, and approaching the 3-minute mark here with 5 seconds till 3.
Baldwin Wallace has all 3 timeouts there.
Yes,
Brandon.
they do.
Watch out. 3 receivers to the left. 1 to the right. Christian Johnson is in the backfield with Logan Stepp. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Otterbein trying to move the football and try to milk some of that clock down. Baldwin Wallace still has timeouts left to burn.
Baldwin Wallace stops him here. Expect a timeout from them.
It's a keeper by Logan Stepp, who has some space. And to open field. He's taking it 30, 20, 15, and tackled. That one didn't go all the way, But Logan Stepp with a nice carry down into the red zone, and just like that, Otterbein is looking to score again.
Yes, they are. And as me and you can see, the Cardinal faithful are on their feet clapping for Logan Stepp's long run on that 2nd and 5.
14-yard line.
Ball is on the 14-yard line, so a good play by Logan Stepp to keep it on his feet, and QB draw right up the middle. That's also been their bread and butter. Him and Christian Johnson's kind of like a two-headed snake, you know. Who are you going to stop? You got two great runners in the backfield for Otterbein, and they've just been running all over this Yellow Jacket defense.
2 minutes left in this ball game. Otterbein now has the ball at the 14-yard line after the long run by Logan Stepp. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Johnson to the left. Here's a handoff to Johnson. Johnson is trying to run over a guy. Gets some extra yards off a nice effort. Across the 10-yard line and down to the 8. So Baldwin Wallace is going to try to use some timeouts here. And they blow their first one. But it was getting a little scary there for a while, Brandon. It looked like maybe Baldwin Wallace was going to get the football back. It was 3rd and long. And a nice 9-yard pass to Peyton Vanderkoy moves the chains for Otterbein.
Yes, I agree. Peyton Vanderkoy on that catch was just short hands. You know, that's a clutch catch and a big moment, you know. And he's got good hands. They've relied on him all year for big catches like that. And he doesn't get a lot of catches, but when he does, they're normally huge, and they go for a good amount of yardage. So that's a huge catch on a 3rd and long, as you said, that, you know, kept the ball in the Otterbein hands, and now they're driving, looking to score with a mere 1 minute and 48 seconds left on the clock.
So after Baldwin Wallace had gotten an onside kick and gotten a couple scores in a row, they were looking like, okay, hey, we're going to come back in this game. All we need is a defensive stop. And just like that, Logan Stepp, number 5, he's been the difference all night for the Cardinal offense. He's been a huge factor. He's still top 10 in the nation in points responsible for. And he's a big part of that Otterbein offense. He really is the heartbeat of this Otterbein team. Here we are. Ball at the 5-yard line. Or mark it the 7-yard line. Logan Stepp and company, 2nd and 5. Stepp snaps, hands off again to Johnson. Johnson along to the right, tries to get around a guy and gets brought down. He's going to be just shy of the 1st down. And Baldwin Wallace is going to burn their 2nd timeout of the half.
Yeah, that's number 26, Trip Washington, on the play. And that would make for his 11th or his 12th tackle in the game, just behind Sam Groff, who had the tackle before that for 16. So there's their 2 leading tacklers making plays in the last 2 possessions. So their defensive guys are trying to step up. It's 3rd and 4 right here. So big play. Time, still it's 1:42. So that 2nd timeout, like you said, is going to be huge. If they stop him here, call that 3rd one, potentially force a field goal, down 8 points, maybe a game-winning drive, or if they don't stop them and we score a touchdown, they're going to have to kick an onside kick if they score again.
One thing you don't want to do on this drive, you can do just about anything. You can call any play you want when you're down on the goal line. Either way, you're pretty for certain you can get 3 points. But one thing you don't want to do is put the ball on the turf if you're going to run it.
You're correct.
You don't want to have a fumble. This would be an untimely time to have a fumble. It would give Baldwin Wallace the ball back down by 5 with still a minute and a half left to play. And that's just bad news, honestly. But here's Otterbein. They have the ball down in Baldwin Wallace territory, deep in the red zone at the 7-yard line after the Christian Johnson run. They need to get to the 5 for the 1st down. Here we are.
So in that same formation that they were in earlier. So expect Julian Lowe to come in motion. And you got really 3 options on here. Stepp can keep it up the middle. You can hand it off to Christian Johnson, hand it off to Julian, or a pass play. So here comes Julian.
Low in motion. Stepp.
Oh, bad snap.
And Stepp gets brought down. It's going to be a loss of 5 on the play. And it looked like they were trying to do that jet sweep to Julian.
Yes,
but that snap was just a little too high, and Logan couldn't bring it back down for the handoff. And he ends up falling in the backfield. And you can see Logan showing his frustration towards his center. And he's really not happy about that one because Otterbein had a chance to maybe get a score and go up by a little bit more, but sophomore Winston Spiker, the center, just makes a little mental mistake there and just snaps it a bit too high.
Yeah, just a little high. You know, you can't really have that when you're doing jet motion because you want it to be mid-chest levels. You can get it and pitch it real quick. If it's high, like it was, and you have to jump for it, you won't be able to come down and then pitch it. So it's 4th and 10 here, and ball looks like it's on the 19-yard line. And David Hoyle trots out to make what would be a 31-yard field goal.
So Otterbein trying to attack on 3 more points. They lead by 5 with 1:37 left. Baldwin Wallace has a little bit of hope. They're going to get the ball back. Will they be needing 5 points or will they be needing 8? Let's see. The kick is up, and this one is perfect.
Another clutch kick for the second week in a row by freshman kicker David Hoyle.
Freshman David Hoyle, again, who had a big kick last week against Heidelberg to send the game into overtime, has a big kick there to make this an 8-point game. With 1 minute and 34 seconds, Otterbein leads Baldwin Wallace here in the 4th quarter. Otterbein wearing white helmets with red jerseys and red pants, white numbers, and tan trim. Baldwin Wallace wearing yellow hats, white jerseys, white pants, brown numbers, and brown and yellow trim. And a beautiful night for OAC football. The only game under the lights here at Memorial Stadium in the 2017 season. Otterbein trying to remain perfect here in the friendly confines. They will have one more game here at home, that one taking place in 2 weeks against John Carroll. Otterbein's next game, of course, they go to Alliance to take on Mount Union, number 2 in the country.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be a tough test there for Otterbein.
It definitely is. They're just an explosive offense, and their defense is good too. So definitely want to win here going into that week. But, first you got to stop these Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. And if you're Joe Sanfilippo, I'm putting the ball on the ground, and I am not letting number 19, Jordan Leverett, get this ball at all. Not even a pitch back.
Jordan Leverett has had some big returns. Here's the kick from Sanfilippo, and he just kind of boots it. It goes up, and it's down on the ground. Hard hit. The ball's loose, but secured there.
Blaine Voorhees might have had a chance to get that ball, and he absolutely destroyed number 20. But, hey, like I said, kick it away from number 19. You don't want to kick it too far down and let them pitch it back.
And it was a shallow kick. It was almost practically an onside kick. So Baldwin Wallace has good field position at the 40. But remember, Baldwin Wallace needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to even score. So it's not like you're setting them up to go into field goal range. You're trying to keep them out of the end zone here.
Exactly, yeah.
With 1 minute and 30 and no timeouts left, that's very hard to do. But let's see. Let's see what Baldwin Wallace has left in the tank.
I agree. And there's no way Baldwin Wallace can win this game on this drive. So Otterbein, kicking it short, not letting the return man get it's a smart move.
Here, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 minute 30 left. Hudson rolls out to his left, throws it off a nice pass there. The comeback route is good there for Chad Steinwicks, and he's been a huge factor all night, and he gets a nice catch there out of bounds to stop the clock. It's going to be 2nd and short.
Yeah, that's their go-to receiver, Steinwicks. He was their leading receiver in receptions and touchdowns coming into this game, and he just does a simple little out route on a PA rollout, play-action rollout to the left to make it 2nd and 2.
So here's Baldwin Wallace again, 1 minute 26 still left. They have no timeouts. Here we are. From their own 47-yard line, Hudson in the backfield, drops back to pass, looks to his right. Now rolls out to his right as the pocket collapses. Now rolls back to his left. Motions to his receiver, throws it, and that pass is good for Chad Steinwicks. And just like that, Baldwin Wallace is on Otterbein's side of the field. They get it out of bounds. The clock stops. 1 minute 18, fresh set of downs.
Yes, they are, and that's the 2nd reception in a row for Steinwicks. And like we said, their leading receiver, they're definitely going to go to him late in the game. First and 10 here.
Ball from the 42-yard line. Baldwin Wallace trying to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to send this one into overtime. 1 minute 18 left. The Cardinals lead by 8. Hudson drops back, is blitzed quickly, and just throws it out of bounds. And Otterbein on the near sideline would like an intentional grounding, but it looks like Hudson escaped the tackle box and threw it past the line of scrimmage.
Kyle Blues, like you said earlier, defensive key, get pressure on the quarterback, and that's Kyle Blues with the pressure right there. Shoved the running back into him and then went to go get him himself. So if the Otterbein Cardinals keep the pressure up, I think they might be able to win this game.
1 minute and 12 left, 37-29. Otterbein leads. Baldwin Wallace at the 42-yard line trying to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to savor this game. Here we are, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Hudson motions Smith out of the backfield. Pump fakes and keeps it himself. Hudson rolling out across the numbers, across the 45, and tackled at about the 31-yard line. The clock will stop momentarily while the chain game resets the chains. And here we are. The clock is running.
Yep, 15, Fred Hargrove on that tackle. Good tackle in open field.
1 minute left. They have the ball at the 32. Hudson drops back, looks to his right, throws it quickly. That pass is complete at the 25-yard line. It's complete to Rob Wolfington, who's made some big catches tonight.
Yes, he has. And, you know, number 88, Ty Ramsey, is in the game. I would not be surprised if they throw it to him, he makes another big play.
45 seconds left. Hudson quickly at the line, snaps the ball, looks to his left, throws it quickly. That pass is complete. And past the first down, the clock will reset momentarily. It's at the 16-yard line, 34 seconds left. Baldwin Wallace has a chance here. And a timeout is taken by Otterbein. Otterbein takes a timeout to talk it over, and that gives Baldwin Wallace a chance to talk it over. Why call a timeout there, Brandon? I don't know.
I think call a timeout because maybe Otterbein doesn't have the DBs they want in there. You know, Baldwin Wallace has just passed apart this defense the last 4 plays. They've had 3 long receptions here. I mean, they did get the ball at the 40, but, you know, now the ball is at the it's at the 16-yard line. And, you know, there's 34 seconds left, so I think they just want to get a game plan and probably just get the right guys on the field.
They trail by 8. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game. 37-29, Otterbein leads. Otterbein led by as many as 17 in the fourth quarter, but Baldwin Wallace had a touchdown. And then they had a 2-point, they went for the 2-point conversion, and then they had an onside kick. They got it. Then they scored another touchdown. It brought them within 5. Otterbein went all the way down the field, got down to the goal line, had to kick a field goal. Here's Baldwin Wallace with a little bit of hope from the 16-yard line going into the end zone. 32 seconds. No timeouts left for Baldwin Wallace. From the left hash mark, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Hudson in the shotgun, drops back, looks to his left, rolls out to his left and throws it out of bounds and high. It was intended for his receiver, Austin Smith. Baldwin Wallace wants a late push there on Austin Jones, but no flag is on the field.
Yeah, definitely got to be smart there when you're on defense. I know you're in the hype of the moment and you want to hit someone if you have the chance, but you can't be hitting people late or unnecessary, and, you know, getting unnecessary roughness called against you. And that would be 15 yards. They'd be on the goal line. You definitely don't want that. So defense has to stay smart here and has to stay on their toes. You know what pass is coming.
2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line going in 27 seconds. Baldwin Wallace needs a touchdown and a 2-point. They have no timeouts.
Number 16 come in. You know when he's in, trick plays normally happen. He's lined up as a running back in the backfield.
Play clock winding down. Hudson snaps, looks to his right, pump fakes, throws it over the middle. That pass is complete. It's not past the first down marker. The clock will run. They'll try to get to the line of scrimmage. The clock isn't running. The clock isn't running. Now it's running. There's confusion on the field. Hudson snaps the ball and snaps it and spikes it.
And you heard it. You heard it a lot from You heard it a lot from the Otterbein stands. They were not happy with the clock not running, and definitely not what you want to do with home field.
Baldwin Wallace, that pass is complete by Ty Ramzier, who's made some huge plays for the Cardinals tonight. Baldwin Wallace now has the ball at the 7-yard line. It is 4th and 2. If they don't convert here, it's game over, folks. 14 seconds left. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Baldwin Wallace on their last leg, trying to tie this game up. They trail by 8. Hudson snaps, rolls to his right, looks, tries to keep it, throws it, dumps it off. That pass is broken up there.
Melvin Medina, number 39.
Melvin Medina makes the play, and Otterbein takes it over with 10 seconds left. Otterbein is going to take a knee and walk home with this one.
What coverage, Jake Hudson didn't really have much rolling to the right, and that was the short side of the field. Very surprising they went that way, but he didn't have much going that way, and he was either going to get sacked or ready to throw it, so he threw it, and Melvin Medina makes a diving deflection and a swat right there to pretty much seal this Otterbein win, as Logan Stepp is expected to take a kneel.
Otterbein's offense will march onto the field one more time, this time to take a victory formation knee. They lead 37-29, 10 seconds left. One snap away from improving to 5-2 on the year. Baldwin Wallace will fall to 4-3, and just like that, Otterbein with yet again another victory. Here at home, they're 3-0 to start the 2017 year, and just one more game left here at Memorial Stadium. Thank you so much for tuning in to 97.5 WOBN out of Westerville, Ohio. I'm Hayden Heilshorn here with Brandon Shade. If you tune into our live stream, you tuned into TNC Media. And Brandon, any final thoughts before we close this one out?
That's a good win against a good defensive team, and you put up a lot of points. It was a shootout. It came down to the last drive as we expected. And it's a good win, another good win in the OSC for the Cardinals, and it's good to see them walk off the field with the win going into Mount Union.
Otterbein takes on Alliance next week, or takes on Mount Union in Alliance next week. That game's a 1:30 kickoff. You can catch all the action right here on 97.5 WOBN. I'm signing off for the night. Otterbein gets the victory here at home, 37-29 over Baldwin Wallace. Good night, folks.